Welcome in. Welcome back. Give out a welcome back for Jacob. Welcome back. It's Monday morning. I don't know. Something about Monday morning. Like it feels like such a productive time. It's like the beginning of your week.
It's like
if you're doing anything important on a Monday morning, you feel like you're top notch.
Absolutely.
And I consider this important. So happy Monday morning to everyone out there. Two-man show.
Happy late Father's Day as well.
Definitely to all the fathers out there. I kind of got a weird look, if I could just sidebar real quick, from my supervisor yesterday, because as I left the office, I said, hey man, happy Father's Day. I know you got a little one. And he kind of looked at me weird, and I was like, do guys not tell that to guys? Is that like a weird thing to say to another dude? Like,
I don't know. That's hilarious though.
I was like, all right, White. Like,
that is a great question. We should take to Twitter. What is protocol for men saying Happy Father's Day to another man? Like,
I said it very casually, kind of all day. Like, I felt like it's like, if you're a father, it's nice to hear that.
Perfectly okay, and I don't see why it would be a problem. But that's still.
I had already said it at least 4 or 5 times that day, and then all of a sudden I say it to this guy, and I'm like, has every guy thought like that when I walked away?
Imagine
like,
he's just like 10. He's like 10 Father's Days deep in, and he's just sick and tired of people telling him. He's like,
10 Father's Day in with crappy gifts, all 10. He just hates the days. Like, this is pointless.
I'm sick of these corny jokes people keep saying to me. I'm just over this. Can I just get out of work?
Yeah. But yeah, so happy Father's Day. If you're watching us, obviously it's a 2-man show. Terrence Scott.
Nobody told me happy Father's Day as if I don't have a child. I have a dog. Yeah. I'm a happy dog father. But nobody ever wants to say it. Nah, it's too late now. It's too late.
Low-key saying, no one really said anything to me. I got the cat that occasionally pops up back here.
That occasionally pops up. You see, that's what everybody said it. You sounded like a horrible father. The cat that occasionally pops up.
Sometimes I leave her outside for days on it. No, I'm just kidding. I've never done that. She's well taken care of.
Smack you. What?
Yeah. So Terrence Scott, Zach Handy here. Jacob is out serving the good man, working the good work. So
if you assholes don't start sponsoring us, liking and subscribing and doing all this shit, we might have more 2 people episodes.
You know what I'm saying?
Support the team and we'll be
Support the team. We can get Jacob back in here. Intern's not making any money. He had to go out and work today. So we might get a random plug in later. He might just join while on the road delivering packages.
We'll see what's again.
Up. But welcome, man. Monday morning. What a hell of a last 10 days. I think it's been like 10 days since we talked in NBA. I mean, this is the time of year we go crazy on NBA. No need to bring anything else in. It's been crazy.
Sticky balls. We don't want to talk about the sticky balls.
We might get
sticky balls in MLB.
Yeah, we might get into some sticky balls later.
I can't wait till we get back to NFL, because even though my team sucks, I still love the gridiron.
I know. Terrence loves the gridiron. He has this weird affection with his team, just fucking making him miserable. Welcome to being Clipper fans, by the way.
Exactly. Like, I'm trying to be like the Clippers, how they are now. Like, I can't wait till I have that Lions moment where it's like,
we did it. We made it over the hump. Holy shit.
We're going to the NFC Championship. What? Like, we're doing this.
It doesn't seem real. It still doesn't seem real.
We've been there. So, like, if we could get to the Super Bowl, like, holy shit. Like, we're doing this.
But the big story is what happened last night in that game 7.
Oh, my. Chokes, known for being a choke artist, Mr. Doctor.
Oh, my God. It's like, this is what's so good about these storylines, too, of these playoffs. We'll get into like all 3 of them. Like, you can just go so many directions with this Philly game. Like, I think the immediate thing I thought of was, I feel so bad for Doc. Like, Jacob hit up a group message and he's like, damn, how cool for Trae Young or something like that. And all I wrote back was, man, I high-key feel for Doc. Dude just keeps doing it. Like, it's
be better, Doc. Like, be better.
It's tough.
It's the same
Sixers
shit.
Lose to the Hawks in game 7,
it's
obviously.
The same stuff with Doc. He's motivational, like, not coaching. He's just motivating cats.
And he can draw up a good play out of a timeout, but it's like, that doesn't make you a great coach.
But like, at the same time,
it's deeper.
I can't express enough how bad it was. A look of him to throw Ben Simmons under the bus like that. And even if he didn't fully throw him under the bus, no coach should ever speak about their player like that. That's just out.
I'm sure everyone has seen it, but Doc Rivers is asked the question, do you think Ben Simmons can be a championship point guard or a point guard of a championship team? And Doc Rivers he did just say, I don't know the answer to that right now. Continue, Terrence.
Yeah, and it's just like that's not what you expect from a coach, and that's not what a coach should say. You're a leader. Like what you should say is, we still have faith in Ben and things we need to work on, but we still believe in him. Like
Yeah.
simple as that. Man, but that doesn't excuse the fact that you still need things to work on. Like it's evident. Yeah. Everybody in the fucking room with eyes knows Ben has things to work on, and it may not just be solely basketball. Like it is evident this dude is like having issues shooting the ball. Like everybody has that. Like shit, what's his name? John Lester
Mental,
can throw the ball to
it's
first
like
base.
I'm not even talking physical form. I'm talking mentally taking
exactly.
a shot.
Like John Lester could not throw the ball to first base. Like athletes go through these issues. Like it happens. Like I don't know if it's jips because he never could shoot the ball, but I don't know what the hell it is. Like, but it's clear it's in his head, and with your coach just basically dancing in your grave doesn't help. Like, and then you have Embiid at the same time dancing on your grave, which is a little bit better because Embiid kind of can say it, but it's still bad, and it makes it. It's evident they can't play with each other anymore. Yeah. But that play was so bad. How he got the layup, has Trae Young coming over to help. He has a layup/dunk, and he kicks it to Thibault.
That's a dunk in the regular season every time for Ben Simmons. Every time with a little when he turns and sees a little guy, that's a dunk every time.
And it's just like you kick it to Thibault, who's not even a scorer. He's a defender who then has to make this athletic move to the cup, gets fouled, misses the layup, and then he goes up there and only makes one free throw. Yeah. So it's like, and that was a crucial part of the game. And it's just, that was more of a statement about how Ben Simmons feels about himself more than anything. To pass up a layup in that situation showed that this guy's it's just not it right now.
Kenny and them broke it down really good. And it's so funny because Chuck can ramble and get kind of crazy and talk 5 different things, but he still, if you follow along, it's like Chuck can still make some good points. But Kenny broke it down really good about Doc, going back to what Doc said. And he said, 7 minutes ago, you were in the middle of a game 7 and you had to believe that Ben Simmons is a championship guard. Like you had to believe it to coach this game and to be that. And he's like, and then 10 minutes after the game, you're telling me you don't know if he is. Like, he's like, that's just not a good, like, it just kind of isn't a good look. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Cause I felt like Doc took a light on him, but I'm thinking of it like JoJo. Like this is my teammate. I'm allowed to criticize him in this fashion. I'm allowed to tell him he's not pulling his weight because I'm the star player and I'm a teammate of yours. And you're right. The coach to talk like JoJo is awkward. It's awkward because now it's like,
and it's out of place and unprofessional.
If it feels like, and it feels like you do damage that is almost irreparable. Like it's like now at that point, it's like now as a front office, Daryl Morey's looking at the situation this morning. Like, do I have to choose between Doc Rivers and Ben Simmons now? Like, did we just make that decision 10 minutes after the game because Doc said those things? And maybe that is the decision now. And it's whereas like, it could have just been frustration, and then you got in the lab, and then you roll the orange thing back out there with those 2 guys, and say, we're working on our game, or we're doing it, or whatever. But now it feels like the hand is forced almost, and it's like that's an interesting dynamic to those comments too. I think JoJo's comments were harsh, but it was real. He even broke it down. He's like, we had a dunk, which would have been, and if you think about it, the game, the flow of the game, the crowd, like it just turns into intense free throws. You miss one. They come down and got a bucket, and he said, we come down and had a bad possession, and then they come down and Trae Young hits a 3. And he's like, that was literally the turning point of the game. Like that wasn't so wrong. Like that's what I'm saying. JoJo wasn't so much,
and he didn't even
throwing him under the bus like Doc.
No, that's
under the bus. They didn't ask Doc about that point in the game. They asked Doc, do you think moving forward this is your guy? And he was like, shit, I don't
Doc
really
took
know.
the bait like a
I'm bummed. He jumped right on it. Frustrated and emotional.
He's like, thank you for actually.
I'm like, that's how I.
He's like,
I'm like, my dumbass would answer it like that.
He's like, I didn't lose this shit. Did y'all see Ben? It's Ben. It's Ben. It's Ben. It's Ben. It's Ben. It's not me. It's Ben. I swear it's not me. It's Ben. Look at his free throws. Like he can't shoot free throws. It's clearly in its head. Like what the hell?
As far as the game and the series itself,
Nate McMillan outcoached
him. I wasn't entrenched in it like I was when Doc coached the Clippers series. So I can't get too much into like what Doc did right or wrong. I'm not going to try to throw him under the bus or throw him out for that. I look at it from the perspective of what I saw in some of those games down the stretch with Ben Simmons. Like Ben Simmons is my second best player, and I have to plug and play him constantly in and out of these stretches in the finals 5, 6, 7 minutes of games because he just either refuses to shoot. If he wants, and if he does shoot, it's at the free throw line occasionally where he's not shooting he's literally shooting the worst percentage in playoff history. And it's like, if I'm going to have you on the floor as my second best player, put all that bullshit out the window. I still need you to attack. I still need you to do what you're good at and be an aggressive
look at Trae Young.
scorer in
like
your fashion, and you're scoring 8 points in a game. Like I can't have that. And it's like you're now putting the coach in a tough situation because Doc doesn't have these. He doesn't have I'm not trying to bring this into Clippers, but like a Reggie Jackson who can like shoot free throws well and be a good guard like off his bench.
They don't have any depth.
He's going to a rookie in a second year 3-and-D. Like he doesn't and he has to plug and play Ben with these guys. Like you're putting your coach in a hell of a spot as the second best player. They
needed more out of Shake though. He didn't play well when they needed him.
Absolutely. You're putting your coach in a hell of a spot as the second best player when you're refusing to when you're just accepting being a guy that the defense is taken out of the game. It's like the defense has taken you out of the game and you've accepted that. Like that's a mental thing. Like as a second best player, if I've seen the other team has taken me out of the game, I can't accept that. I have to go get back in the game. Make plays.
He took himself out the game.
Like even better. As the defense, it's even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that wasn't like the Sixers. I mean, not the Sixers. Yeah. The Hawks didn't game plan him up. They weren't necessarily always going to the hack of Ben. Like he literally took himself out of the game and was just
they didn't have to anymore.
In his own head. Like Ben's problem was just a lot of different issues with him, but he just needs to stay aggressive. Like Kenny and Shaq said it best. Like Kenny said, we're going back to the Doc point of like a coach can't give you confidence, but he can absolutely.
I love when he said that,
and that was the best point ever. Like coaches don't understand that. Like you can fire a guy up all you want, that doesn't always help, but you can definitely take a guy's confidence away easily with saying something by the way you
your actions.
Your actions, like it matters. Like people are still human and emotions still factor into things. So that was a great point. And then what Shaq said about Ben Simmons is that it's not just about the points. It's about being aggressive, dude. Like
playing a style of your basketball.
This isn't nothing new that Ben Simmons can't shoot the ball, but he's still made all-star games. He's still impacted basketball games for the past 3 seasons. Like this isn't something new. Like he didn't just wake up last night and be like, it's like the Gibbs. Like it's not the Gibbs. Like he didn't wake up one day where I'm at 42% from the 3. I shoot 95 from the line. And then one day I'm like, I can't fucking shoot a basketball no more. You've been who you are for since you got in the league. Yeah. So stay to that, believe in that, and stay true to that. Like, don't let anybody switch your game up. And that's where coaches get in guys' heads. And that's where it feels like we thought Doc was going to help with, but yet here Doc is dancing on his fucking grave. So that's what I have a problem with Doc. Because remember when we brought Doc in, I was advocating because I hated Doc.
Yeah.
It's a test of time, but I thought he would be a good coach for Philly because I thought he would actually be what they needed, the motivational guy that fires his players up and be able to tap them. But it's actually the opposite of it.
Yeah.
So it's like
he needs someone to fucking lock Ben in, not hype him up.
Do I think Ben Simmons needs to be traded? Absolutely. They don't need to run that back. New scenery, but I also think Ben Simmons is not a bum, but he needs to work on his game. Everybody needs to work on a game. And I always shout cats out who work on their game. And Ben definitely needs to be on that shout out list eventually, because if not, he's going to just stay the guy he is. But he needed to stay aggressive in this series, and they didn't have to take him out. He took himself out the game. All he had to do is keep going to the basket, taking it coast to coast like he does, impacting the game defensively, because the dude's one of the best defenders I've seen in basketball. Like,
yeah, he has really good things. He does some really good things out there.
And just believe in those things. Like, don't get swayed. All Doc needed to do is keep telling Ben, oh, fuck shooting jump shots. Same thing we tell Giannis, fuck shooting jump shots. Just impact the game. Impact the game. And that's what he didn't want to do. And that's where it comes down to Ben, but it also comes down to coaching as well.
Yeah, I do definitely think he needs to.
And Beat's crazy. That dude was playing his ass off. But Philly lost not just because of Ben Simmons. They lost because they don't have a closer.
Yeah.
Teams cannot close with big men.
Strong, I think, either.
You can't close games with big men. You have to have
I've noticed that, and I would like to say
playmakers. Like, it's just what it is. Like, test the time of basketball. Like, even when basketball was big man oriented, they still had wings closing games. It just is what it is, because a guard can get his own shot.
It's hard. It's hard for bigs to close the game.
I ain't throwing my big. I ain't as good as bigs are. Like, you can have the best bigs. Like, I'm not throwing you the ball late in the game. I'd rather give it to my wing. And it's just because they have better moves. It just is what it is. Basketball is basketball. Like, I don't know why we keep trying to switch things up and reinvent the wheel. But that's really one of the reasons why Philly lost, because late in games, Tobias Harris wasn't it.
I went and looked at the draft of Ben Simmons.
Was going off, though.
I went and looked at the Ben Simmons draft because I thought like what could have been?
Yeah, that's a great
What
answer.
could have been with this Philly team? Because I was never a Ben Simmons guy. Even coming out of college,
Let's pull that up.
oh,
What year was
look,
that?
I am a cat dad. Look, I am a cat dad. If you're watching, she's right there. Anyway, sorry.
Wait,
It's
what year is that? I'm gonna pull it up.
I believe it was the 2016 NBA draft, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm just pull it up.
And the two guys that go right after him, one guy is the guy that I remember thinking should have gone number 1 to be with them. And the other guy, no, it's Brandon Ingram. And I thought, wow, I would love to see JoJo and Brandon Ingram. That would be that would have been phenomenal. And then the other guy is Jaylen Brown, who I don't think I had at all going third. But I also thought, wouldn't it be a bad idea to have, instead of Ben Simmons on that team with JoJo? And it really...
They should have drafted Denzel Valentine. Come on.
Yeah. I have fun looking at this draft, and
there's a lot of
very hit or miss. There's some bangers in this draft, and there's some really big bums in this draft.
I smoked that Chris Dunn. I was a big Chris Dunn fan. Jesus.
Yeah.
Dragon Bender did not pan out. Okay, so realistically, all they could have had.
Going back to
the only guys back to your point. The only guys I potentially, realistically, at the time, because now we're looking at hindsight, not having hindsight in mind. Ingram could have went 1.
Absolutely.
Maybe Jaylen Brown, but I don't feel like
that's what I thought. I thought just those two after him could have, but I don't think. I thought definitely Ingram, and I thought, man, what could have been? What could have been?
Jamal Murray had a lot of hype at that point too, but not number 1 hype. It would have been. It had to be out of him or Ingram.
Yeah, it was like what. That's what I'm saying. What could have been on that 50-50 coin flip? Looking back, it's like.
But look at Ben's numbers in college, though. He played. What is this? Is this college?
No, that's probably his NBA stats. If I had to guess.
Yeah, that has to be, because I was like, how does he? I was gonna say that's his college numbers. He was insane in college.
So yeah, I did go look at that, because we all know for 5 years I've been telling you guys, Ben Simmons.
Like, we yell at the guy for wanting to score.
Ben
this is who Ben Simmons is, though. This is who he's always been.
I mean, 14 though, like Shaq made a good point of it too. Like, man, if we win in all these games with you at only 14 apiece, then I'm gonna need you at 14, 15, 16 apiece in the playoffs. I definitely can't have you going to 8 points a game. Like, I can't have that. We're not gonna win games.
Bro was having 4-point games. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable.
And this isn't the first time though. I've been telling you guys, we see this come playoff time. He is one-dimensional, and someone, I can't remember who said it, but they were like, in the NBA, especially in the playoffs, come playoff time, like A, B, C, D move is gone. Like, that shit is schemed up and gone. You're on like EFG as far as what move you have available to you to use in the game.
That's why Giannis is so fucking crazy. But keep going.
100%, because if Ben Simmons
don't give a shit.
Ben Simmons don't have EFG as it is. So if they're taken away and he's refusing to go find an EFG move, a 4th, 5th, 6th move, if he's refusing to go find a way to impact the game when they've taken that first one away, like when a series gets going and Ben Simmons gets going and he has a couple good games, and then throughout that series, obviously the same team, they adjust to Ben Simmons. He refuses. Oh man, I think I froze.
No, you're good.
Okay.
We can hear you though.
He refuses to adjust back. Like, once they adjust to him and kind of take him out from what he was doing successful, he's like, okay, I'm out. I'm done. Like, I'm done. I'm out of the series. You've adjusted.
Well, that's the problem though. Like,
and then it's like, like you said, he checks himself out of the game. Like, once they make one adjustment to him, he's like, yep, you got me. Hands up.
That's
you
his
got me.
problem though. Like, that's what I'm saying though. Like,
and I've been telling you guys for 5 years. That's
like, I'm not arguing that he needs to add more things to his bag, but he also needs to understand, dude, you're at the highest level. You've been at the highest level as an all-star doing what you fucking do. Like, we all know you need to work on your free throws. You need to work on your jump shot. You need to work on your three-point shot. But with all that being said, you're still an NBA all-star. You're still a high-level player at what you do. Yeah. Just do what you do. Because right now, you ain't going to just overnight get a jump shot. That's off-season stuff to work on.
I heard Shaq
but in the postseason, just do what you do.
Yeah.
But, like, that's what he needs to understand. Like, in the offseason, we know, like, we got to grind it out, work on your game. But right now, it is no working on your game. Do what you do best. Like, this same thing with Giannis. Like, fuck all these shooting threes. Do what you do best. Put your head down and get to the rim. If you're missing free throws, we'll live with it. It is what it is. We're still picking up fouls on them. We're still getting a bonus.
We'll live with it.
We'll live with it. Just do what you do best, and
I can't live with you taking yourself out of the game. I can't.
I can't express this enough. What you do, Ben, what you really do, you do it at a high level.
It's impactful. So
impactful. Just do it. What you're good at is very impactful, and the team needs it. But when you check yourself out, that doesn't help anybody.
I believe it was Jim Jackson or Grant Hill on one of those broadcasts, and they were talking about like Draymond Green or something. And
that was a Marv Albert, right?
And they were saying like you regardless of the stat book, like do what you do on the floor and leave an imprint on the game. It might have even been that Phil Handy thing, but he's like, you have to have your fingerprints of what you do on a game. And it's like you said, like, Ben, do what you do because it will impact the game. You'll have an imprint regardless. And it's like that's what we need.
All-star, Ben.
Especially if you're my second
best
player. If you're my second best player, you have to find a way to impact and put an imprint on the game. I don't give a fuck about the stat book says. We all are basketball people with basketball minds. Like I need to look at the game like, damn, you were out there tonight. You had an imprint. Like,
here's a great example. Draymond doesn't even score. Yeah, that dude literally is the second best player, third best player on the floor every single night with what he does.
He puts an imprint on the game.
That shit matters. And Ben, literally, you're one of the best defenders in the league. This dude literally could check Trae Young and then go check a center. Like, and then check every other position in between. Like, he's crazy.
100%.
Do what you do best. Believe in yourself. We all know you got to work on your game, but fuck all that. Believe in yourself because you're still at the highest level. You've been an all-star. You played 5 years, 4 technically, and 3 out of those 4 years you've been an all-star. So fuck what everybody else is talking about. You still are a high-level player. You ain't a bum. Get out your own damn head. Get in the lab. That's obvious. Get in the lab, but you still are a high-level player. If they trade you, put both fingers in the air and tell them to kick rocks. You just traded an all-star who's 24 years old, and I'm going to make you eat your heart out.
Yeah, I'm like Shaq too. Like, I don't even need you to get a jumper. Like, fuck being a traditional guard or forward, whatever you are.
Runners, floaters.
Give me a 10-foot hook. 16. Give me like a 10-foot low block hook. Like, if you have that, like that changes shit. I'm like,
you guys need to have just floaters and just running hooks and shit because you're 6'10" and already. I don't
want to dismiss either.
We have to talk about the Hawks as well because
that's what I was gonna say. The Hawks, like what a story, man. It seems like every playoffs there's one team that kind of makes that run.
Collins, that's my guy.
Jimmy Butler did it to the finals. I'm not saying the Hawks are going to the finals, but it seems like there's one crazy team per playoff. The Nuggets did it one year and end up in the Western Conference Finals.
Anybody want to crown Luka?
The Heat did it, and it seems like now the Hawks are that story. Wow.
Just saying.
What does this do for Trae Young? Like,
Luka got all that hype. Ayton and Trae Young got both of their teams are in the Western Conference. Well, in the finals, Eastern and Western. So it's like, let's pay some respect to both of these guys. Ayton is very impactful. We just seen it in the Clipper game.
Oh, yeah.
And clearly Trae Young is his first playoff run, and he took his team all the way to the Eastern Finals after having a coach who was bullshit their season away, picked up Nate McMillan, and the car literally accelerated.
Yeah. What does this do?
John Collins, though. Oh, my God.
Trae
I can't
Young.
stop about it.
What does this do? We'll get right into John Collins, too. What does this do for Trae Young? Recency bias is everything. Like, where is he catapulted in the NBA right now? You know what I mean?
Same thing Jamal Murray did last year.
Very great comparison. I'm glad you went right there. I was hoping that's exactly what I was thinking.
It's like Donovan Mitchell. They're all in the same boat of young guys who are now on the big scene. I'm like, damn, these guys are stars. Like,
how crazy Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, go to John Collins and what you saw from the Hawks in general.
Well, the Hawks just have a good young team. Like, that's another team who drafted really well and then spent their money in free agency really well. Clint Capella was a fantastic pickup for them. All they needed was a rim runner and somebody who's athletic to play with Trae Young, because Trae Young throws nothing but lobs. When he gets to the paint, he throws lobs or floaters, which is so hard to stop because his floater is amazing. But at the same time, he could throw a lob off it any time. And then Clint Capella can also man the paint for them defensively and allow them to be more aggressive. And then John Collins is an X factor who bet on himself, who turned down $90 million this season from the Hawks to now get super paid because he's a guy who could play the 5 and 4. He's a stretch big, crazy athletic, clearly tough as shit. So he ain't scared to play nobody. So it's like that dude's played himself into a lot of money. So shout out to guys that be betting on themselves as well, because he just got a lot more cash.
We talk a lot about guys that like lost a lot of money, especially like we talked about on the Laker roster. Talk about a guy that made himself some money. Oh my goodness.
The guy who's made himself the most money though is Reggie Jackson. That brother
just made himself
a ton of money. He might not even get a Clipper next year because of how much money he made.
I don't even want to get into that because I'm gonna be sick.
It's gonna suck because where he goes is gonna be a shit situation, but it might be a max contract.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he already kind of did that lane with Detroit. Maybe he learned his lesson. He wants to be part of something.
If he
might
go to
take
Orlando
a little
on a
bit of a
max deal,
discount.
Go to
But anyways,
somewhere like Orlando on a max deal would be stupid though. But go get your
I
money.
can't believe the hot. And then shout out Kevin Herter for turning into Larry Bird for Game 7.
That's my
like,
guy, dude.
Jesus
Like that
Christ!
thing
Yeah,
reminds
I
me of
already
Klay
know.
Thompson. I don't know why. Like he reminds me of like a cable version Klay Thompson to me. Like his game is just.
I like.
I really
game.
like that
when
kid,
he's
though. I
when
really
he's
like
playing
him.
well. I do really like his game.
And he's great.
Wow.
Like he be on defense trying. Like he ain't a great defender, but he trying. Let's go, Becky Hammond finalist.
Yeah, I just got that Bleacher Report too. That is some great breaking news that we just seen. Becky Hammond as a finalist. How cool would that be if she became first woman head coach in NBA history? That'd be phenomenal.
That'd be dope.
She is.
I hope
Talk about
Teresa
paying her
Witherspoon
dues.
Gets her chance.
Yeah,
that'd be dope if Witherspoon gets
so
her chance
cool.
in New Orleans.
Becky with Pop all these years, and you see her, she's right there. She's so part of the staff. She's so part of his ear. Like you see her just so involved. Popovich trusts her so much. I think that would be one of the coolest things if she ended up as a head coach in the NBA. Man.
But let's get to the other East series.
Right. So Trae Young, obviously flowers, and shout out when he gave his dad his jersey right after the game. Like, dude is so hard. He's so good in the moment of like perfecting the moment with what he does on the court to the crowd and then stuff like that. Like he's just he's great.
I was just thinking about it when I saw that moment, like, man, because Trae Young's dad obviously hooped and was good, but like didn't make it to the league and whatnot. Like didn't make it nowhere near where his son is at. And I just think like, man, he probably was telling his kid, like, don't let nobody doubt you, because his dad's not the biggest guy either. Probably was a really good point guard, got overlooked for his size and whatnot, and told his son, size don't matter, son. And his son took that shit to heart. And Trae was
like that. I'm a fucking maniac.
Dude has like an assassin in him though. Like he literally doesn't give a shit about going on the road. He plays the role of villain, embraces the role. Like,
I'm saying,
but he did it in high school.
Oh yeah, always has been.
Dude was taking bows in high school. Trae's young business killer since he was like 15 years old. A little baby face, light-skinned kid out here just killing cats. Don't care. It's dope. He's dope.
So they're gonna go face Giannis. Wow, Nets Bucks started off. Everyone thought it was gonna be a straight series.
That's so lit.
We all got on here. It was 2-1, I think, and we all got on here. And
did pick Lloyd Pierce to be coach of the year, so I feel like I should get like half points. I was feeling the Hawks. I was on the Hawks train.
We used to say at the beginning of the season, this is your secret Hawks podcast of record, fans of record. We all love the Hawks.
Man, yeah. I didn't say Lloyd Pierce. I said Nate McMillan. It's just play it backwards. If you rewind it and then play it forward, that's what it really says.
Yeah, flip the tape upside down, put it in backwards, and then
exactly.
So Nets Bucks starts off. We all think going into the series, we pick it to be the best series of the second round, and then
I had my Bucks, but I wavered. But I still
it starts. Yeah, and then it starts, and we're like, this might be the worst, most boring series of the playoffs.
What's funny is I think the Bucks don't win it all, but I feel like the
and then it goes back to holy shit, we're gonna end up going 7 games. A home team hasn't lost yet. This is insane.
What a series.
Again, so many things so many things you could say about this series. I think Slim Reaper to me, since Giannis is moving on, we'll get to him. Like Slim Reaper, wow, what a performance, Kevin Durant. This postseason in general.
I really one thing to say from that. Well, I have several things to say, but my biggest takeaway from that series is if you walked away from that series having any critique for Kevin Durant, you're a fucking idiot and stop watching basketball.
Yeah, man,
he hurt his legacy, and you walked away from this like, well, LeBron would have won that game 7. You're an idiot.
Yeah, no, you're an idiot. You're 100% an idiot.
Stop watching basketball because I don't know if even LeBron wins that game, but one that does not matter.
Doesn't matter.
This dude is amazing. He's one of the best scorers we've ever seen, and just shut the hell up and appreciate basketball. Like your little shitty takes doesn't matter. Like
the game 5. Where he plays every minute and goes for 40.
Damn near played every minute the last 3 games. Like that dude is crazy.
That game.
Off an Achilles injury.
Amazing. Then he goes back, plays almost the whole game. Game 6 doesn't. They end up losing. And then, Giannis gets love here. Like this is huge for his legacy to go on the road right there, win 2 games, 1 at home, and then go on the road and win a game 7.
Carried them game 7 until Drew and Chris finally woke up late in the 4th.
Yeah, especially Chris hits the big shot. Drew hits a big shot.
I was on Drew's head that whole game. Oh my god!
Yeah, he was 3 for 17 or something at one point. Like
he was like 3 for 19, and then he finally hit 2 2-3 big shots, and it was like, good shit, Drew. That is why they got on him. So shout out to the making of trades, I guess, because like in a sense, Bledsoe was missing those shots when it mattered. So
I thought of this too. One game had so much Bucks future in it. Like we're talking.
Yeah, shit was getting weird if they lose that game.
Bud's gone if they lose that game. Like gone before they get back on the tarmac. Gone type shit. Like
and he's safe now. He'll be back next year, no matter
absolutely.
what. Unless they get swept by the
Drew Holiday's
you get swept by the Hawks, you're gone.
Yeah,
you can't get swept by the Hawks.
Drew Holiday's collapsing, then ends up with this game like, and we're thinking like Drew's not it. Like they might have to move on from that immediately, move him again. Like, like we're like, how do we restructure this shit with Giannis? Like so much,
before Giannis
and then it's like
fucking forces his way out.
Yeah, and then it's like
so many storylines.
Giannis goes nuclear in Game 7. Chris and them hit big shots late, and now you wake up and you're in the Eastern Conference Finals after beating this juggernaut that was assembled this year. Granted, it was definitely beat up. But
he should have put the crown on his head again. That would have been hard.
But you know, all credit to them, they win, and now it's like, oh, okay, like we're gonna roll this thing out there. You almost feel like, regardless, like unless it's like a Hawks domination, you almost feel like regardless, like we're rolling this crew of Bucks out there for another 2-3 years now. Like it's crazy how much like hinged on that game. Kevin Durant played every minute of that overtime game. Kevin Durant played
KD's
every minute of that overtime game.
I have nothing to say about KD. Like I tell
that shot to force overtime is absolutely ridiculous.
That shot is crazy because for so many fucking reasons. Like, first off, like the season is on the line. Like this is win or go home. Like they're down in this situation. And this dude decides to shoot a turnaround from fucking 3 because he intended to shoot a 3. You can hear it in his
he thought it was.
He's mad his foot's on the line. So that lets me know that dude was trying to fucking game you. You understand how psycho that is? And I understand why he was trying to game him because he was tired. And it showed
because he does the same shit in overtime and he airballs it. If you look at that ball was straight. He shot it right at the rim.
He's just tired. That
was
a fatigue shot. He was literally tired. Yeah. And that is so crazy to me that this dude said, all right, bet I'm going for game and really hit it.
In Game 7.
Just stepped on the line. Like, bro, what are you on? Like,
really banged it.
Did Steve just say, just do you? Or like, did y'all draw that up? Like, yeah, post him up from 3 and bang his ass out. Like, what the hell is that? That was crazy, KD. You're not from this planet, bro. Like, I was at all when he shot it. Like, what? That's the shot you go to? Screw you made it. You're that confident in your game to shoot a turnaround for 3?
Yeah.
To go to Cancun? This is the go to Cancun. You're like, all right, bet. Bang.
Bang. Yeah, and bangs it. Like, what is this?
It was game. Oh, my God.
What does this do for Giannis' legacy? Talk about stuff that's hinging. I talked about the future of those other guys, but like if they lose this game, Giannis ain't going nowhere. But the way he's talked about is going to be. You already know. I was ready. I was waiting for it.
And that made no sense to me.
But good for him. Like now I can't. Now I can't. Like he had a good game. He didn't close the game, but that's not necessarily the deciding factor. Like Ray Allen hit a big shot for LeBron to make sure they win that finals. It doesn't mean Ray Allen's finals. You know what I'm saying? Like some guys hit certain shots to close certain games, but who closed the series? I have to definitely give some credit to Giannis. Like he put up big numbers in those games, and for the majority, absolutely throughout the series. And in those last two games, like he really, for the majority of the game, showed up. And down the stretch, some other guys hit big shots, and that's fine. And that's fine.
Put them in a backpack in the whole first half.
Absolutely, and he essentially went minute for minute with KD. They found him some small rest in there, but he essentially went minute for minute with KD. And
I like that he's
a big thing.
Shot. I'm not in that camp that everybody's like, stop shooting your jump shot. I'm not in that camp.
Because it's like a feel
I
thing
think he should shoot.
He can knock some down.
Yeah, and I think he needs to understand its rhythm. Like, you don't need to go into the mindset of every game like I gotta shoot 5 threes. You need to just let the game come to you. Like, if you feeling it, dude, you the best player on my team, bro. I ain't got no issues if you coming down, hitting a cat, pulling up. Get back if you miss. Let's get back. Like, you the best player on the team, bro. But it's like when you get in this mindset of settling, and when you hesitating and shit, don't hesitate. If you're gonna shoot it, shoot it. If not, we gonna get back. Like, we hooping. You our best player. You 2-time MVP, bro. I ain't got no damn issue with you shooting jump shots. Like, people are stupid. But it's when he gets trigger happy, start shooting 9, 10 threes. Like, okay. Yeah, shut the fuck out. Like, you're still dominant. No one can stop you when you do what you do best. Like, let's not get away from what you do best. But you can still shoot your pull-ups. You can still, because when you start getting that going, trust me, they can't stop you. You start knocking those things down. You hit a couple of threes. You hit a couple of jump shots. The paint's open now. And back to his free throws, because we talked about this. I don't have a problem with Giannis ever going 8 for 13 from the free throw line, 7 for 11, 4 for 6. I mean, well, like 4 for 6, not bad. 4 for 7. I don't have an issue with that. Like, one, you're big, and two, you're still putting pressure on the defense. You're getting guys in fouls.
You're playing your game if you're at the line.
You're playing.
Like, I know you're playing your game if you're at the line. I can understand that.
Like, unless you're going
just like we said, Ben Simmons.
11,
I know you can't shoot a jump shot, but at least you're playing your game.
But if Ben is still going, like, if you're going 2 for 7, Ben, we still have to fucking figure this out, bro. It's free throws. Like, make your free throws. Hit, like, you go 4 for 7. Like I said, we don't have no issues with that. But and Giannis isn't that bad at the line. Also, Giannis, shoot the damn ball at the line. Stop with thinking so long. That's his problem with free throws. He takes too damn long. You're literally up there hearing the crowd count, dude. Like, why? Go up there, dribble it, and just shoot it.
It's the weirdest
He's literally listening to
it, that he, like, who in his camp was like, hey, your new free throw routine? Think about it the whole time. Think about it for 20 seconds. Like,
roll the ball, like, read it, see the commissioner's signature on it, spin it again, read the commissioner's signature again. Like, damn, shoot the ball.
I feel like if I was in his camp and helping him on his game, I would have been like one of the first things I would have been like quick rhythm and shoot it. Like, let's get a quick thing and get it up. Like, stop.
Yeah, we would time him. You shoot it under 6 seconds every single time. Like, just shoot it.
And dribble, like, instead, I'd be like, I would have to do shit with him. Like, just talk to me while you shoot free throws because I don't want you thinking about shit. Let's get him up and like get him into a rhythm of just doing them without thinking quickly. Something, because it's like whoever told you
probably is
up,
knocking shit down in practice. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, like whoever the fuck told you to sit up there and think about it for 14 seconds in front of 60,000 people is a dumbass and fire.
Yeah, because it's like, bro, that's so many eyes.
That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Like, it's like literally like you're public speaking at that time in front of a crowd. Like, everybody's just staring at you alone, and you got to.
It's like a press conference and you walk up to a podium. It's like the president walking up to a podium, and it's like the very first second.
It's like a challenge. I think of it
everyone's
like
just 11. Like zoned in. You know what I'm saying?
11-year-old you got to do your magic trick in front of the talent show, and everybody's looking at you like, like,
yeah.
Dude,
everyone just zones in, and you're like, oh shit, you guys are all looking at me right now. I'm like, oh.
And then you hear the person in the crowd, oh my god, he's nervous.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to hate that when you was a kid. You hear the kids in this guy, that one parent like, oh my god, he's nervous. Like, duh, bitch, you don't need to say it. Like,
it's like when you play baseball and it's like a big moment when you're a kid, and then you have those two dumbass kids like, let's go, Jimmy, no pressure. And then you're like, big moment, obviously. It's a big moment. Like, Jesus Christ. That's exactly how I feel like.
Definitely deserves his roses though, but
100%.
If they lost this game, I wasn't going to be in a camp of like, I don't know. I'm not really big on legacy games.
I wouldn't.
Some games are legacy games, but I didn't feel like that one necessarily was, because like, now if this is full healthy Nets, like if that was Kyrie and Harden out there and he does the same shit, then it's like, yeah, this really is a legacy game. You went and took down a super team. I'm not trying to diminish this win by the Bucks or anything. Like, you still got to the
huge
finals. Yeah. You play who you play. But like, as far as like we're really critiquing and saying this would have impacted Giannis' legacy, no. Well, I guess in a sense, because if I'm gonna say it that way, if he would have lost to KD without Harden,
absolutely, we would have been like, you needed to pull that out. Like, you should have pulled that out. And there's context to everything. It's like the fashion he played. Yeah. He does play well, but it's, and like I said, like I still don't have a lot of new, like, changed feelings on Giannis, but I will definitely recognize that, like, this is a huge win for him and he did play well, but it's still like, if it was a full healthy Nets team, I think they would have smoked them. Not because so much that they're full.
Look at it. They went 7.
That they're so full and healthy, but it's like, there's a lot of moments at the end of these games where I'm looking at Giannis and I'm like, I still need you to be more impactful at the end of games. It's like, I feel like you are very defendable and you shouldn't be. I look at you, you shouldn't be defendable in a lot of situations. And I kept telling you guys, like, at the end of games, they're okay. The other team is looking at the best player on the floor and they're like, I'm okay if Blake Griffin and Jeff Green plays you straight up, because like, I don't respect your bag like that. And that's why I said, if it's a close game, I think the Nets win because they got but it doesn't.
I don't need Giannis at the top of the key. No, you're crazy. You go one-on-one with Giannis on the block. I mean, not the block. This is the problem. Like, if Giannis had if they run some sort of like a triangle for them, it would be insane to stop.
But they're not, and it's like, a lot of that's on Bud. But it's like, still like, Giannis. Come on, it's like, Giannis, you're the star player. If I'm Giannis, I'm the star alpha motherfucking player on my team. Like, I know my spots. Why don't I just go get into my spots and win us the game? Like, I don't have the coach not putting the gun to my head out there.
I saw him.
I did, and that was like a turning point in the series when he did that. And I feel like when the criticism for Giannis was in the series was because he wasn't like he was settling, and it's like, I can't. I still feel like that's in him.
But that's what I
wanna see
like about
more.
Giannis the most, though. Like, is that Giannis wants it. That's what I love about Giannis. Like, that guy wants it. Like, in a way, it's kind of to his detriment late because he forces things. But I can't knock him for that. Like, that's a guy who's gonna keep working on his game and getting better. Giannis wants to fucking be great. Like, he really does. Like,
I can
in those big
understand
moments,
that.
like, he truly wants to step up. He's not running away from the ball. Like, he's not standing
Absolutely. I respect
give me
that
the
he's not
damn
running away
ball.
from the
Like,
ball. Yeah.
he's trying. Like, Giannis.
I don't want to bring it back to Ben,
great.
but like Ben's literally running away from the ball. Ben's
Exactly.
one dribble past half court, like JoJo, you know, and it's like
get the ball out of my
Giannis is there. Giannis understands who he is to the franchise and who he is to the team. And he's like, okay, then I have to do it. I have to take these shots. I have to be a man of the moment.
I just think he
go.
gets put in the wrong position sometimes. Like, he needs to stop going from the top of the key. Like,
Yeah.
one, you don't have enough moves for that, and the whole defense is fucking staring at you. Like, that's just not good coaching to do
Needs a
that.
deeper
Like,
bag.
it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but even if he has a deeper bag, like, you still have fucking 10 sets of eyes staring at you. Like, you're at the top of the key. Like, no matter what, he needs to be positioned better. But when they started running the pick and roll between him and Chris Middleton, they were killing teams, and they should stick to that because those are two best players. Pick your poison. Either Chris is going to bust your ass with this mid-range jump shot, and he has a hell of a fadeaway. Shout out to Chris's midi fadeaway because he can shoot the hell out of that.
Absolutely.
Or I'm going to give it to Giannis on the switch, or if you don't switch, I got a better position on the block. So they should keep running that. I love when they did that.
You know what's hilarious to me is that the Warriors they changed basketball. It's like it's a very 3-oriented league, but at the end of the day, winning basketball teams still have to have a mid-range shooter. Like, not even just in the paint. Like, if you don't have a
your
guy
best
that can
player will be a mid-range player. Analytics, that's the thing. Analytics don't have a problem with guys shooting mid-range jump shots. They have a problem. They don't have let me rephrase that. They don't have a problem with stars shooting mid-range jump shots. They have a problem with role players shooting mid-range jump shots because on average they don't knock those shits down. But absolutely, your best player needs to have a mid-range jump shot because the way he's defended.
Every year that we say, oh, they're a contender to win it all. Oh, they might be a good playoff team. It's like the X factor in that is like, I have some sort of wing that can go to the mid-range and dominate the game. Like, that's still in the formula and for
your best player
basketball.
Your best
which
wing
is so
has to
ironic.
have a mid-range jump shot.
Which is so ironic to me. Clippers have 2 of them that do it. Bucks have a guy that can do it. A guy and a half that can do it. Nets had KD. That
is the half? Is that Drew Holiday?
Giannis.
Is that
no, Giannis.
Oh no, I'm not putting Giannis in
half.
that half. No, he's not the mid-range guy.
I don't know. Three for 19. I took Drew out of the half and inserted Giannis
that was
as the
so
half.
horrible.
Now.
That was so
like,
hard to watch. Like, bro, you damn near from the hood. Like, you went to Campbell Hall. You got to be knocking shit down, bro. Like, that's right up the street in the valley.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Get it together, Drew.
I do love that. Bucks Hawks gonna put up a big fight, or do we think Bucks got momentum?
I think that might go 6. I don't know.
Hawks are gritty. Yeah, John Collins. I think
probably shit.
You don't have to.
When I said it, I was like, absolutely, John Collins can guard it.
A mixture of John and Clint.
Actually, I probably would put Capella on him because it's not like I don't know. Giannis might better hit him off.
Anyone else out there is low key barbecue, so it's got to be a mixture of those
John
guys.
Collins, actually. It'll probably be John Collins. Or Solomon Hill.
Yeah, I do like. It's crazy that. Shout out Scott Radamas. As Jake said, your predictions have been money, man, in the playoffs.
I told you, I talked to Adam, man. Me and Adam, good boys.
Yeah, you and Adam are in constant communication. It feels like.
You seen the Hunger Games, like how the Game Master? Me and Adam, man.
You guys, it feels like you guys are
spinning the shit around. It was like
you guys are in constant communication about the storyline of these NBA playoffs. It's pretty intense. So I guess the moment we've all been waiting for, the big. Sorry, he's got a call from Adam. You tell Adam you're busy with the podcast.
Is that what telling me some more information? My bad.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah. He just told me what's gonna happen next series. I told him I'll call him back. I didn't know if I liked what he said. Told him I'll call him back.
A moment 50 years in the making. No, I'm just kidding. Man,
are you crying right now?
We'll shift to the.
Is this guy crying?
We'll shift to the Western Conference.
It's okay.
And I have.
It'll be over soon.
I have so many people I want to thank. I have so many people to think about here. No, I'm just kidding. But man, the Clippers.
Pondale, what up? Everybody was like, boo.
No, I was so hyped. I was so hyped in my living room.
Dude got hit with tomatoes for no reason.
Oh man, this just made me think of this real quick before we move on from KD. Shout out KD. He loves basketball. off the Achilles injury, 2 of the final 3 games, he plays every second of the game. 2 days after losing game 7, commits to Team USA Olympic basketball. That motherfucking dude loves to give buckets. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. When I saw that, I was like, damn, Nets.
I was like, he missed basketball being out. He missed basketball.
Can y'all talk him out of that though? I was like, whatever amount of money you need to give him not to play though. Like, KD, please.
Man, I was stoked.
Don't need the hoop, dog.
I'm Captain America in the group chat. You guys always, I love the national teams. I love all that stuff.
They gonna win no matter what, dude. Like,
of course they're gonna. He doesn't have to even play. He could just go and hang out and play a sparing few minutes.
If I'm the Nets, I'm definitely who's coaching. Is it Coach K? Is this
that means in my mind that means he really wanted to put another Olympic gold medal in his trophy case. And if that's important to him to put another gold medal in his trophy case, that's awesome as fuck to me.
Yeah, I feel that.
I love that shit. That's so cool.
But if
I'm
the Nets, though, I'm definitely shooting Coach K some cash to be like, don't play KD a lot, Coach K.
Oh yeah,
Nets, I'm gonna shoot him some cash.
Yeah,
don't play him.
No, I bet
even
you
if he wants to play.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, I bet you they're smart enough to figure that out.
Just start him.
I don't anticipate him to play a lot.
8 minutes.
8 minutes, 10, 12 minutes. Man, they're gonna dominate no matter what. It's Bradley Beal, Dame Lillard, Jason Tatum. Like they're gonna destroy this Olympics. Now Bam Adebayo just committed.
Every country sends their best players, but it's like the NBA is literally in the States.
You could pick almost any 5 Americans that are pretty good in the NBA, and I feel like they're gonna have a good chance to win the Olympics.
Bullshit. We've lost before when we tried to send pretty good cats. We got to send our best.
We've lost before.
When we send our best, it gets lit.
Oh yeah.
When we send cats, I would be down to start sending college guys again to see how it is again. We should start.
I'm interested. I'm not against that.
The best college guys.
So, man, the Clippers. We can definitely move on to the West now.
Bam Adebayo, he just committed as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I said that. I was like, oh, that made me. But anyway, so all is bleak. Kawhi's right knee's in shambles after game 4. And playoff P, man. Like, there's so many storylines with the Clippers, and I'm sure we'll get into a lot of them.
That dude really played fantastic.
He's played fantastic all playoffs as a whole. He's had some struggles in some first halves, but he's been a closer, which I think is the most important thing.
And what's crazy is if they lose, he won't get anything.
Even if they lose to the Suns, people are still good, but we'll see. He's
pandemic. Yeah, people are still praying on his demise, which is
go
fine.
To the
Those
405
there.
And go play tag. Play tag on the 405.
You're just
go try to tag a car on the 405.
The game 5 performance in Utah. I mean, chills. Like, what? Like, are you kidding me? It's the pivotal 2-2 game, and you go and you wake up that morning, and they're like, "Hey,
and on a mission.
You're the best man on the team. Your boy, your right hand man. His knee's done. Like he's not playing tonight." And you're like,
I think he's done for the
man.
season.
And I love all the corny stuff that came. I assumed right away. I was like, I'm assuming still that we're not going to see Kawhi Leonard. If we get him back, I'm happy. But I'm assuming going forward we don't see him.
I just hope it's not next year. I just hope he's not out next year. Like screw this year.
Yeah.
Paul, maybe you can get it done this year, but hopefully this dude can.
I feel like we got to cross that bridge when that news comes, and it's just tough. And I'm just hoping it's nothing severe. But I'm also.
Did you see Kawhi in the locker room when they won the game? That shit is
so good. So Kawhi, just so Kawhi, just clapping it up, straight face, like yeah,
big ass hands.
Like, so good. Man,
T-Man,
game 6 performance of Terrence Mann.
It comes with the name though. Like, I ain't never met a Terrence.
How did the Clippers win those final 2 games without Kawhi Leonard? Just tell me how they did it.
You believe in Terrence. It's the power of Terrence.
It's power of a Terrence. Man,
it comes with the name, man.
Unbelievable.
It comes with the name. That dude was hooping.
He missed 6 shots.
I don't understand Quinn Snyder though. Like, I don't think necessarily taking Rudy Gobert out the game was the right answer because it was evident they would have got torched if they took Gobert out the game because he was the only reason why they somewhat had any relevance of like stopping them because their wing defenders was a problem. Royce O'Neal was the only guy that somewhat could keep anybody in front of him. Ingles was getting cooked. Clarkson was getting cooked. Conley was he shot, so he couldn't get cooked. Oh, actually, I take that back. Mitchell was guarding well, but he was also hurt as well. So it's like their perimeter guards were forcing everybody into the paint. Reggie Jackson was getting to the paint at will. Paul was getting to the paint at will. So this shit, even when Rondo played, it led to nothing but dribble kickouts to where guys are wide open. And these guys are NBA players. Like, they're going to make shots, especially when Terrence Mann blacked out. Like, once he blacked out, they needed to switch Gobert onto somebody else and keep playing the same scheme. But guard that, man. He has fucking 30 right now.
when he dunked on Gobert in game 5, it's almost like he realized in that moment, like, I don't respect this guy down there. He can't guard me. He can't guard the rim when I go there. Like, he in that moment, and he took that into game. Bro, he takes that into game 6, and he's like, he sees the game plan, and he's like, oh, like, this is beautiful. Like, this is.
I just don't get why they didn't switch him. Like, why didn't you start? To me, I would have put him on Morris at this point. Put him on Batum at this point. Make those guys go berserk at this point. This dude's literally like, these are NBA players. When a guy gets hot, it doesn't matter what the fuck his name is. He's here for a reason. Like, he's blacking out, dude. We're playing basketball. He has 30 something right now. He's 5 of 8 from 3. He's blacking. I don't give a shit that the numbers say Terrence Mann is. Terrence Mann's blacked the fuck out. That ain't Terrence Mann right now. That's fucking Bradley Beal. Like, guard him.
Exactly. Today it's Bradley Beal.
Yeah, like, switch him to somebody else. Like, I don't think putting Gobert out the game was the answer. Gobert definitely needs to work on his offensive package. No way in hell you should have allowed the Clippers to go small, because if you saw game 1 against Phoenix, Ayton was like, I ain't Rudy Gobert. You ain't gonna play me like this.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get mine because I ain't no bum. I can score. So that's unacceptable from Rudy Gobert. But on the defensive end, he had to play, because those wings couldn't stop anybody. If you took Gobert out, those was layups. And then you really get beat. Because I'd rather make guys make jump shots because it's a harder shot than a layup. Guys were going to get layups. So, like, but Gobert, I don't know, Quinn Snyder is a good coach too, so I don't think he should get fired. He stuck to his game plan because he had to. It was personnel. And Conley got hurt. It's a different series as Conley healthy.
Yeah, real quick on the Jazz, like, I think what needs to happen is, like, move Gobert. And I know that's crazy. Some people probably think that's crazy, but, like, that should be one of the blockbuster surprises of the offseason to me is, like,
okay,
move on.
Give me what you would think.
Move on from Gobert. I don't even think
give
you need to go
give
big,
me an idea
go
of what
big
you would
for
do.
big. Get Donovan, like, either
but like what? Give me a trade.
Possibly Ben Simmons. Like, we're looking to move on from Ben Simmons.
How the fuck you gonna put Gobert with Embiid?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Then make it like a 3-team deal. But I'm just saying, like, people that I want.
Now you gotta give me a scenario. If you go, give me something.
See,
let's think about that.
I don't know. I don't know the deal. I don't know the specific deal, but I'm sure it's out there. I'm like, I like the idea of moving on from Gobert and trying to work around Mitchell better, because I think the frustration is going to grow similar to, like, JoJo and Ben, or these guys were like,
frustration was there after the COVID shit.
There's frustration probably still there, but it's like, I'm looking at my second best player, and offensively he can just get taken out of the game. And as Donovan Mitchell, I'm frustrated.
Best player. Like,
no, he is though. He's their second cornerstone of the franchise.
But see, that's the difference though. Like, Utah from a roster standpoint sucks. Like, they shoot way too many threes. And I knew that game was over the moment Donovan Mitchell and Clarkson got hot, because that wasn't sustainable. I watched Jordan Clarkson's whole career. He's a great player, but he can shoot you in and he'll shoot you out of it because he's streaky as shit. And when you're a team that shoots nothing but threes, that's going to lose you ball games, because outside of Mitchell, they didn't have anybody that could actually attack and get to the paint and create their own stuff. So when they just got cold and Bogdanovich wasn't hitting, blacking out like he was, they weren't going to win. And the Clippers knew that. So it's like, that's not on Gobert. Gobert definitely should have put more pressure on them offensively by getting more offensive rebounds and actually just going up. But if you look at a lot of the scenarios, because Conley didn't play, it was a lot of the guards' fault. Clarkson isn't the greatest playmaker. Ingles isn't the greatest playmaker. Royce O'Neal isn't the greatest playmaker. A lot of those pick and rolls, they missed Rudy Gobert when he was open, or they was giving him the ball way too fucking early. You cannot give Gobert the ball 5 steps away from the rim. He needs the ball right at the rim, lay it up. If they had Mike Conley, this series would have been completely different. Does that mean Rudy Gobert? Does that justify him? No, because you should have more game than that. And you shouldn't be depending on having an elite point guard solely be able to set you up. But at the same time, those wings did not help the situation. Donovan Mitchell was really out there playing by himself. Ingles is good, but they might need to move him. And the only guy on that team right now, from a roster standpoint, from like wings outside of Mitchell, to me, that should be safe, is Royce O'Neal. The rest of those guys should all be explored.
Boggs
I would explore him because he maybe can give me something better. Like, he's a good player.
His
value is better than what these guys on these rosters. Like, Royce O'Neal may not be the best player, but I like what he brings to the team. Like,
oh man,
he can't score, but he's just a dog.
I'm like, you kept telling me you didn't like him. I feel like
I don't, but like, he still brings intangibles to the team that, like, a winner.
As far as like fit for the team.
Like, he's like, could he play for me? Maybe not, but like, he could. His style of basketball is winning basketball. He's going in bed to make 3-and-D shots at some point. He's gonna guard the other team's best player, and he just plays hard. Like, I need guys to play hard, and that's what he does. He fits Utah too. That's like Utah's type of guy.
I don't like Gobert. I don't think he's a winning, like,
I
I
just
don't
don't
want to say
know
a
where that
winning
could
basketball
go.
player. I don't like envision him as if he's like possibly my second best player on the team, which I think he really
He
is. If you
shouldn't
look at
be,
this
though.
Utah Jazz roster,
But he is,
shouldn't
though.
be,
On the roster,
but
he
he
is.
is. And if he is, we're in trouble. And so I'm like, you either need to find a way to, if you
He
can
needs to
keep
be a
him and
part of
bring
your
in
big
a better
three.
player than him. Yeah, but I don't see
He's
how
your
they
big
could,
three.
they don't have enough outside of him to keep him and bring someone
They
in
do
better
have a
than him.
big three, but
You
the
know what I
problem
mean?
is that honestly, like, as much as they needed Conley's low-key the elephant in the room. But who knows? The series, like I said,
They
would
got a
be different if
big,
Conley
big
played.
1.5 is what they have. Like Conley's a
But the
half.
problem is, like,
Gobert's a half.
Conley, yeah, but I would love Gobert as my, like, third star because he knows his role and he plays his role well. You just need another guy who steps into that actual 2 role and solidifies that role. They don't have that. They need another wing or maybe a better point guard. I don't know. Like, Conley doesn't suck. So when Conley got hurt, that spun the series. Like, they were the number 1 seed for a reason. Do they beat the Clippers? Who knows? But that team definitely is more impactful, and Rudy Gobert's more impactful if he has Mike Conley.
So back to the Clippers. I can't, from a Clippers standpoint, fan.
I was hard on Ty Lue. Shout out to Ty Lue. Like, outside of
I wrote that
like,
down.
First 2 games,
we
from
asked
the Mavs series.
in the Mavs series, we literally asked the question, is he being outcoached? And you said it beautiful. You said, I don't know if he's being outcoached. He's going up against a Hall of Fame coach. And it's like, so he was tested. He was being tested in that Mavs series.
Because I remember I said, I don't know if he was the right man for the job, but I was wrong for that. One, because the players wanted him and he's making the adjustments that are needed. So in hindsight, that was wrong, but he definitely got outcoached the first 2 games, in my opinion. But I don't know.
See, I'm not going to say outcoached.
I know. Let me rephrase that, because it's like Ty Lue, the way he coaches is kind of like a fill-out method. Like,
he's the LeBron. He's the LeBron version of a coach. He waits 2 games to see what you do, and then he's like, I know how to beat that. And then it's like boom, 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 and then he starts.
Which is a stupid, dangerous method in a way.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
I don't particularly like that method, but it's been working.
It's working. It works for him.
If anything, the thing I respect most about Ty Lue is that his guys are always ready to play, and I respect that for him.
Yes.
So that means guys are buying into his system and they believe what he's saying, and that means, like, from a day-to-day, he's proving to these guys that he's preparing right and have them prepared right, and they respect that. So guys are willing to buy in and sit on the bench and know when my name gets called, it's time to play. You've seen it with Kennard. You see it with Rondo. You've seen it with DeMarcus Cousins. One shout out to DeMarcus Cousins, because he's like praising and cheering his ass off for a team who, like, he was all juiced how the Clippers made it to their first Western Conference Finals. This dude ain't even been on the team that long. Like, and everybody always said,
speaks to the culture that Ty Lue and them have built.
It speaks to Boogie, though, because all these years everybody always said Boogie was a bad guy, but everywhere he went, his teammates always spoke highly of him. It was never that his teammates had a problem with him. It's just he's an emotional guy who, so what? So the fuck what? But he always got deemed wrong in the league, and it sucks because you could clearly see the guy's not a bad teammate. So shout out to Boogie Cousins for sure.
I think you made a great point of, like, the guys always being ready. I mean, Patrick Beverley, an entire series DMP.
Damn, Pat Bev, my
in the
God,
first
man,
and both of us, man. Too bad Jake's not here for this. I feel like both times we've had really good things to say about Pat Beverley. Jacob has missed those episodes, which is really, really ironic. Yeah, good for sure. But absolutely, he has played his ass off. Played his ass off in the Utah series. He played well, I thought, in game 1 of the Suns game of the Suns series. And like you said, being ready, and that's a guy whose role fast and extremely diminished because of injury. He was out of lineup and things took off for other players, and his role on the team has gone way down this season, and he's just been ready, supportive, and been okay with it. Just a great pro,
Same with Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson was ready to play. Like,
ready to play.
He for a while.
He got his card pulled to be put in the lineup in the playoffs, put back in the starting lineup, and he hasn't looked back. He is the second best player now that Kawhi Leonard is gone. He has been the second best player for the Clippers, and it's not even close.
Like, shit, even when Kawhi was there, he was out playing Paul some games. So yeah, dude was killing.
Dude,
that
really
dude is crazy right now. I don't know who he is right now.
His confidence is through the roof. You could tell, like, it doesn't matter who's in front of him. He's just playing his game. He is in a zone. And Paul has got the same feel about him, where it's like, I'm back to playing my game, and my game is unstoppable right now. Until they can check my game, I'm just gonna keep playing my game.
Back to dunking and shit. I'm like, my God, you got to get into the cup. He tried the shit on Gobert. I was like, oh my God, whoa! I ain't seen that in a while.
When Paul is at the rim oriented, the rest of his game falls into place like so perfect. Like, he's just, everything else feels so good when he's rim oriented. The rest of his game falls into place.
He has one of the best snatchbacks in the league, definitely at his position. So, like, if I'm getting to the cup, you got to worry about that. And whoop, come here, get this 3-ball. Like,
and he's
his
playing
mid-range
bully.
pull-up
He's
is
playing
nasty
bully
too.
ball right now. His off, I mean, people hate it. They're talking about online. His off arm is excessive. I don't care. Stop it. Like, I don't care. I'm a bully. I'm gonna get down there. Everyone does it. I don't care. Exactly.
Every elite
and I'm strong. Get bigger.
Get to the cup does that. Look at Devin Booker. Devin Booker does the same thing.
Absolutely.
Devin Booker has so many shades of Mamba in his game, and you could tell they used to work out together. Like, you could literally see in Tatum and Booker's game that they're like one of the last few cats that got the Mamba stamp, and you could see it in their game. Like,
absolutely.
When they get to the mid range, they hit you with that little bump, and I just want to shoot the fade away to get my shot off, and you can get it off the net. Oh, I love Booker's game. That boy is cold. Good luck, Clips. Good luck. He is assassin. He's crazy. We will like Trae Young.
So let's leak that right into game one. Suns take a great game. I mean, I watched for my job, I had to, but I watched every second of the game, and it was exactly what you wanted. It was the 2 stars, Booker and PG, just trading buckets, just trading punches. Both teams going on runs.
I don't know. I'm scared for you.
And Phoenix makes the run late. I feel like the game went exactly as I anticipated. So I'm waiting to see how tonight's game goes or tomorrow's game goes. I
Chris Paul still not gonna play, huh?
And we don't know. We don't know about Chris Paul yet. Kawhi is a guaranteed to miss next game. Chris Paul, we don't know yet. And
Kawhi not coming back.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
I hope he comes back though. I just hope.
I do too, but I'm assuming he doesn't.
Yeah.
So the Suns win. I mean, I felt like because of the 7 games and only essentially a day and a half or a half a day, whatever they're saying it is, off, which is sucks because now the Hawks are getting 2 days off. That sucks. Like, I feel like the NBA's whack for that, but whatever, regardless.
Super whack for
Got to do it. And now we don't have hoops on a Monday. Like, now, whatever. We could have played game 1 today if you were the Clippers and you had a game on each day. Different story for a different time.
They should have gave both teams rest, and it's okay. Like, the Clippers should have got rest because that's why.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
And that's what I'm saying. They started out well. And then it looks like they got tired fourth quarter, and the Suns pulled away.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Like, you went to a deep game 7, and like that's the only reason why I don't feel like you should panic too much for the Clippers because Paul looked tired, and Lou had to take him out more than you probably wanted to take Paul out.
Absolutely, they went on a big run in the fourth quarter, and Lou extended Lou extended Paul's minutes on the bench there at the beginning of that fourth. And the second unit tried to hold on, but Booker goes on that crazy, like 4 for 5, 5 for 6 stretch, pulls it to like 8. And then Paul comes in with the uphill battle. That was like a real turning point in the game. But like you said, he just had to do 4.
You have to. You just got to. It's a team sport. You got to hope these other guys step up.
At the Utah series, he did it game 1 of the Utah series because we went 7 with Dallas, and he's like, he understands the mechanics of these deep series. Shout out to his those years with LeBron and them, and shout out to his years as a Laker, as a player. He understands the magnitude of these deep series. The deeper,
yeah, my boy. Yeah. I haven't seen. Shout out to AI on that moment though. He says he hates that moment. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
because he's like he didn't want to disrespect him like that. AI's such a good dude.
But you're in the heat of the moment.
Side story.
He really is.
He was like, I really didn't want to do that. Like, that's my guy, and I hate that people recognize him solely for that moment. Like, y'all just in the heat of the moment hooping.
Absolutely.
So, shout out to him.
We would be liable to do that to each other because you're in the heat.
I would absolutely step over anyone in that moment. Like,
absolutely.
Hell yeah. That's dope.
So I think he understands that. And I think that's why you see at the beginning of the series, he tries to build up some rest that way. Because later in the Dallas series and later in the Utah series, Paul George was playing like he was on his KD shit, playing like every minute of the game. And it's like, you don't do that at the beginning. You got to save that for later. So I think the game kind of went as I anticipated. I wasn't too.
I love the boogie minutes. That we were going to love that.
Absolutely. You're going to need it. And Zubac, he played fairly well. But Zubac has to play well. Because someone's got to play against Ayton, and if it's not you, it's got to be Boogie, and we need it to be you because I don't think Boogie can keep up with Ayton for more than 8 minutes at a time. You know what I mean? So there has to be a big playing at some point because our small ball lineup's going to work, and they're going to use that Batum lineup, and it's going to work. It's our best lineup we've been using, but you have to with Ayton's presence, and he is so good at understanding ball off the rim, go. Because the other team can't keep up with me because I'm 22, 7 foot and fast and excited and I can finish and I have game around the basket. I'm not just a rim runner. If I get down there and get early position, I can finish with a smooth move. Like he gets it and he understands his role, which we always say.
He is very similar to Joel Embiid, just not as big as him.
just not as big and still needs to be a little more polished. But I understand 100% what you see there.
They got a lot of similar.
But with that, you need a big to get with him up and down the floor, and Zoo's that guy. So I'm interested to see how
I love
Ty
Zoo on
manages
offense.
that.
He's a really good offensive rebounder. He can finish around the rim, but Zoo gets lost.
I hate
on
when he
defense
brings the
way
ball
too
down.
much.
I hate when
He brings the ball down a lot. A lot of bigs are the problem, but he definitely brings the ball down. You don't need to dribble it. Don't bring it down. Just go up.
He loves to bring it down and do like the look for the lane, and I'm like, nah, dude, just keep it up there and yam it. You're 7 fucking.
I know Marcus Morris on what is that? The right block. He is nasty on the right wing block. Like he does not miss. It might be the left wing block actually.
It's left. It's going to be far.
Yeah, farthest
going
right.
From going from left to right on your screen, the far block.
It'd be the farthest block on the screen, so that'd be left block. But he is nasty over there. Like
so
he hit
hurt
you with a
his
couple
knee.
of shoulders. Did he? I didn't see that part. He got hurt.
He hardly played the second half. Zubac starts the second half for him. He got his knee worked on. He came in. He was definitely noticeably hobbled. He hit a shot, missed 2 shots, noticeably hobbled, noticeably limping, low key. They need him going forward. I'm worried. I haven't heard much about it.
They absolutely need him.
They need him. He is a huge when he's playing. Yeah, when he's playing well, he is critical.
You literally cannot win.
We can't
him.
because
don't have enough.
He's a good versatile defender, and you got to think if he doesn't play, it's going to be like Kennard getting a lot of his minutes, and Kennard Kennard can't do what he does at all.
You replacing 17 points right there. That's tough already when you got to replace Kawhi's 25. Yeah, 25, 30. So it's like that's just too much to ask for.
I'm worried about his
the
knee.
rebounding.
I hope it's.
Yeah, I hope his knee's I didn't even see that. I didn't even realize that. I was also really lit watching that game, but I didn't even realize.
Yeah. So I think that's a big deal. I'm not gonna, as I've learned through these first 2 series, definitely not counting out this Clipper team early in a series. They fight so hard.
That's a gritty team.
It's definitely their hardest battle yet, though. I'll tell you that much. This Suns team, Devin Booker, we can transition to the Suns.
They don't even have Paul. Like they don't even have Chris Paul. Like that was insane. That's what I just kept thinking about watching that game. Like,
he is such an underrated playmaker. Like he's a great decision maker. He
Booker?
doesn't necessarily.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Booker was running point for them the last 3 years. Like until Paul came, he was their point guard. Like that boy can play. He is so nice.
Oh man, he is a gifted offensive player.
3 level.
Yeah. Oh man, he's like taller Kyrie Irving mixed with Kobe Bryant. Like it's ridiculous.
I love Mikal Bridges as well. Like that. Dude,
oh my God, absolutely.
Just getting better and better and better.
We always talk about like the list of this guy can't play for me. And there's like select players we always text that are on this. Like this guy couldn't play for me. I just can't stand this game. Mikal Bridges is on the list that you can always play for me. Like you can play for me any day list.
That dude has all-star like potential. He will be an all-star one day. Like,
he might be the best cutter in the league. Like he just loves he's so active.
Cuts
he's
at the right time too, every single time.
He's constantly moving, constantly in the right place on the floor, cuts at the right time, like understands where he should be, where he needs to be, makes shots when he is so good. I love shout out.
Another 2 cutters
so
actually. Shout out to 2 guys that are another good cutters. One is Alex Caruso. Caruso's a really good cutter.
Great cutter.
And
great cutter.
Pat Connaughton. He's another really good cutter as well. Pat Connaughton. That dude could hoop as well. I didn't know he could shoot.
Absolutely.
He was shooting the shit out of the ball in that series.
He could shoot it. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, those are shout out to guys that definitely know timing on how to cut.
The problem with, I think Phoenix and Utah run very similar styles of offense, but this is the difference. Phoenix runs like the complete level of that offense that you want to run, whereas Utah is like this in between where like they run that style good, but they don't have like a Chris Paul to orchestrate that style of offense where it's like very 3 oriented, but it's also like a good rim runner.
Paul's
like
better than Conley.
Yeah.
Booker's better than Mitchell. So it's like
Chris
that system.
Paul,
is better. Like they run that system better. They do run similar styles because both teams shoot a lot of threes. You have this big man who wants to run all the time.
This penetrate and kick style of offense a little bit of screen.
But the difference is they have guys who really can make mid-range jump shots. Like Booker can make it at a high clip. Paul is like one of the best mid-range shooters in the history of basketball. And Cameron Payne can hit mid-range pull-ups as well. That dude can score his little ass off. Like Payne, shout out to that guy. Like he was out of basketball for a minute. Like he had to go play in another league and came back and was killing. Murray State.
Chris Paul is so good at just like getting every guy in his position to score at his best position on the floor. And when you have a guy like that running that style of offense, it brings it together. And Booker channeled that. Like guys were in place and he was giving it to them on time. He was putting them in positions to score. And then you have
Jay
guys that
Crowder
can
was
like.
a big pickup.
I was just gonna say you have guys that can legit make shots, and Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder. I think like the Suns
Cam
is
Johnson.
the final version of that offense that the Clippers just played against in Utah. So it's going to be tough. Like you're playing a similar
the
style
reason
of
why
offense,
Quinn Snyder
but
lost
better.
was personnel, and it's like
And you don't have like
Phoenix
gunners
has the personnel
on Phoenix. Phoenix doesn't have gunners that are going to shoot you out of a game. Like Utah has Clarkson who can shoot you out of a game. Donovan Mitchell can shoot you out of a game. Not that they do that often because they made it at a high clip in last series, but they legit could shoot you out of
Cameron
a game.
Payne might, but he won't get enough opportunities. And Booker,
Right,
I
where the
guess, can shoot you out. But he's just so damn.
But
He
you
shoots
can
the
live
ball
and
better
die.
than Mitchell. That's
Right.
another
Just
thing.
like you could live and die if Mitchell shoots you out of the game. I can live and die with that. It's like I can.
The
live
thing
and
about
die if
Mitchell
Booker's
is
shooting me out of the game.
I would classify
Mikal
Mitchell
Bridges,
as
Jay Crowder, those guys are never going to shoot me out of a game the way Clarkson did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like they don't have any Clarksons on their team for sure. But I would say the difference between Mitchell and Booker is Mitchell's more of a guy who's like a scorer who can somewhat shoot, like a scorer who can shoot, but that's not what my game is really about. I'm more about attacking and getting to the paint and just creating shit. Like I can shoot the ball, but I can't make a living shooting the ball. I don't think if you ran Donovan Mitchell off pin downs all game, he would be an all-star. Would he still be an NBA player? Absolutely. And he would still probably better do it. But I don't know if you would be wanting Mitchell to, I don't know if he would average 25 points being a pin down shooter and running him like JJ Redick off sets.
Right.
Compared to Booker, I do think Booker would still be an all-star if you ran him like that.
He'd look like
using
fucking
him
Klay Thompson.
best? No. Yeah. Are you let me say the word right. Utilizing him best at that? No. Because Devin Booker can clearly put the ball on the ground and play make, and he's a 3-level scorer. But at the same time, if you asked him to just run solely off screens, he could do it at a higher clip than Mitchell. So that's the difference in this. Like Mitchell somewhat is a gunner who's going to take these shots from deep that aren't always going to go in. Booker is a gunner, but one, he's kind of a little bit smarter about his shots because he gets to his spots better. And two, he's a better shooter. Like them long range shots are going to fall more than Booker's. I mean, more than Mitchell's compared in this series. So Booker is special, and good luck Clippers because that dude, just look at his eyes. He's fucking
Scott Adamas, you're not making me feel good, dude. You're not making me
I don't feel good about it because that dude, he's pulling up in these dope ass whips like he's freaking.
Will you tell Adam no one wants to see
back.
Phoenix, Milwaukee? No one wants to see Phoenix.
I know
Milwaukee.
Phoenix.
Will you
think
talk
about
to
Phoenix,
Adam?
Atlanta? Like Phoenix and Atlanta. What? Like 12-year-old me is loving it though. Like this is what I always wanted. Just hoop. The best players in the world just get to hoop. But man, from like a media standpoint, it's like who's in the finals? We talking about Bogdanovich guarding Mikal Bridges. That's the finals fucking matchup. That's hilarious, dude. Who you think gonna have more points?
Okay, but tell me how. You tell me how. Like what happens for the Clippers to win the series?
Hey,
assume Chris Paul's coming back because we know at some point he is. Assume
That's
Kawhi
scary,
never does.
but
Kawhi never does.
Healthy.
How can they still win the series?
Obviously Paul has to play well. Reggie got to keep playing well. Let me start.
Assume
Mookie.
Assume
Mook's
okay to play. Assume
if he's healthy,
okay to play for hypothetical.
What the Clippers have to
purposes.
continue to do is make shots, stick with the small ball lineup. That clearly worked. As much as I was against the zone even works. So maybe throw the zone out more.
They run it well. They are everywhere when they run that zone.
Yeah, if they're gonna stay small, they have to run zone because Ayton's too dominant.
They mix it in well, like you guys said.
He can score.
You guys said when you do a zone, you can't just rely on it. You have to mix it in.
No, this game, you get torched running this zone all game.
I feel like they mix it in really good moments. And I feel like Ty Lue has a good feel on like, okay, let's stop this run, mix it in for 4, 5, 6 minutes now. And
Ty Lue got his pulse his finger on the pulse of the games very well right now. He understands what's going on. So like I said, I can't hate on Ty. He's been really efficient. But to answer your question on what they got to do, it would have to be, you have to get something out of your bigs. They have to come to play because you can't run that small ball lineup. Those minutes of when the bigs come in the game, they have to be impactful. They have to be big minutes because Batum and Morris and even Paul, they're going to have to get rest. You're asking a lot of these guys who are 6'9", 6'8", having to play multiple series in this small ball lineup. That shit is extremely tiring. People aren't understanding that. They having to bang with Rudy Gobert for 7 straight games is hard as hell. If we could call Rudy a bum as much as you want, he's still 7'6", still can rebound the shit out of the ball. 6, that's right. Shout out to them, only beat them in 6. But I don't know why I thought that game went to 7. You're right though.
It felt like
it did feel like that. And then they went 7 with Dallas, right? They went 7 with Dallas.
You had to bang with Bobby down there for 7.
You had to bang with Bobby, fucking Dwight Powell. They had big, so it's like that is wearing down your wings. And then you're going to play that same lineup if you get to the championship. So it's like, and you got to do that shit against maybe Giannis, which is even a different story. But like, that's wearing them down. So the biggest minutes are going to come from Zoo and Boogie. Those minutes are very impactful. And the minutes when Paul sits. That's probably the most important thing because Paul's going to have to sit. You can't play him every minute of the game through for the next 6 games. So when you're going to have to get some big minutes from the bench, like the role players have to step up. I know that's an easy answer, but it really comes down to the bigs.
No, it's fine.
That's really what I think, though. The bigs have to come to play, though. Like, Aiden is no bum. You got to come to play.
One last thing to say on the Clippers. I'm sure this will be quick, easy. I know your answer. Say the Clippers lose this series. I don't care about how many games. You know, they lose it not in a disappointing, disgusting fashion. They fight
they get swept and blown the fuck out.
And they lose this series. Does that diminish anything about what they did at the end of Utah to come in and lose this series?
To the media, maybe, but to me, no. I think Paul proved to everybody that I'm one of the best players in the world. Like, I'm definitely top 10, top 15 player in the world. So it's like, if you got anything else to say about that, that's more about you and your opinion on basketball and more to say about what the guy's actually accomplishing on the floors. Because the guy clearly showed like he can impact the game. He can carry a team to get them to the next round. It's hard as hell to even get to the Western Conference Finals, let alone win a championship, especially when you're losing guys left and right. Ibaka's out. Kawhi's out. These are starters.
Morris played half a game essentially.
Exactly.
He hurt
Morris
his
is out. So that if Morris is out, you're now down 3 starters. Like this is what I was talking about with
big
KD.
Players.
Like when people are trying to scold KD for losing that series, like, bro, what are we talking about? Like I'm missing several pieces. Like even like with LeBron, like this year, I felt like people actually kind of assessed this year correctly with LeBron and didn't really diminish his legacy and try to say all this stupid shit because it was evident. Which is smart. Use your common sense. Like the dude's team was hurt. Like AD's hurt. LeBron's a little bit older, so he needs more help now. It's not fucking rocket science. Same thing with KD. As much as KD did, KD had multiple 50. Well, he had 50. Yeah, well, it was. I don't think he got the 50. It was like 49 or something. Fuck it. I round around here. He had 50. He had multiple games of 40. And it's like, dude played insane. If you got anything else to say about him, go look in the mirror and slap
Take it somewhere else.
Times.
Yeah, slap yourself 100%.
Like you just, I don't know. KD said it best. NBA fans don't like basketball. And it's like, unfortunately, I love hoops. I watch women's basketball. I watch high school basketball. I watch college basketball. I watch the NBA. I watch Euro. I just like fucking basketball. That's why
I like players. I like watching guys put that orange ball in the cup. Like I really enjoy that shit.
I just like watching basketball. So I'm never going to be the guy with these shitty hot takes talking about legacy games here and there. Like some games are legacy games, but at the same time, some guys' legacies are already set in stone. It ain't a thing KD can do in this fucking world that'll change my mind on what that man can do. Like 100%. I already know that man is a 7th one with one of the coldest handles ever at that position and the greatest scorer to ever walk this fucking planet. Nothing he does from the rest of this time in this earth will ever change my opinion on what he has done in that basketball floor. Doesn't matter. Same with LeBron. It's a lot of guys that feel this way. Like,
like you said, some guys shit is set in stone. You don't. Not every year is not.
It can go higher, but it ain't gonna go lower to me. These guys can always make their shit go better. But it ain't no way in hell LeBron's legacy will ever be shitty to me now. Could he improve it? Absolutely. Could KD improve his legacy? Absolutely. But it is never going to drop from here, in my opinion. That's just how it goes. He's done too much.
Man, NBA playoffs have been good this year. I mean, granted, there's been a
best
in a while.
Year. And like,
shit,
10, 15
and that says something because there's been a big rash of injuries, which sucks. So for the storylines and for the teams to still put on and for teams to still put on great performances and for it to be as high drama as it's been, I mean, shout out to
the only asterisk is the injuries. That's the only one because everything else has been amazing.
I will just say as a Clipper fan one last time before we get off, shout out the other guys, not to be corny with our team name, but shout out the other guys, Patrick Beverly, Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, huge series, huge playoff runs.
Luke be ready, man. Shout out to my boy. I was on your head all year, Luke. That boy a good shooter though. He can come in and shout out to Boogie with a big moment, a big game. I mean, Paul's not one of the other guys, but I mean, just shout out what a beautiful team. I don't even put Reggie in the other guys anymore. Reggie, you play like a max player right now. You
are that
like
guy.
A max player. Yeah,
that one guy says you are not that guy. You are that guy.
You're that guy. You are that guy. Like when he hit that shot in Utah that went like 16 feet in the air and just flashed, I was like, oh yeah, brother, you are seeing the hoop as a hula hoop right now.
Yeah,
that shit is huge to you right now.
You're chucking a baseball in an ocean right now. Like it's just gonna hit.
Wow, he is, man. Anytime it's rotated to him and he's open, it's like, yeah, you can go ahead and get that one up the net.
I I think they said he literally shot 50% from three in the Utah series. I think it was 18 for 36 was the final number. Like, you're tripping, stupid. Dog. You're tripping. Like, you're tripping.
That is stupid. He is clapping. But it all came down to Paul, though. Like, as much hate before we get off this, I'm going to give Paul his roses again.
Absolutely.
Like, that dude gets a lot of slander, and he
probably
put
the
his
most
head down and unjustified slander.
Person.
Yeah, the most unjustified slander I've seen for a high-level player of his caliber in a long time. Because, like, LeBron gets slandered, but his slander is just stupid. Like, you slandering a guy that is fucking in Mount Rushmore. You just slap yourself. Yeah. Like, this dude is amazing. Stop critiquing LeBron. Like, he's different.
Yeah.
But, like, even for Paul, like, this is an all-NBA player multiple times. Hall of Famer. Like, that's what people don't understand.
He's going to the Hall of Fame, regardless of what happens.
We got to do from our hometown going to the Hall of Fame. So y'all can say, Pondo, what up? That shit's lame. So what? My brother going to the Hall of Fame. So Pondo, what up, bitches? Because he going to the Hall of Fame. And he does shit for the city. So people, I banged on somebody on Twitter about that shit, talking about, oh, well, he just now shouted out Pondo for the first time in 10 years. No, bitch, Google's free. The homie been repping the city for years. He been doing it. He ain't one of those guys that say, I'm from LA. Nope.
No,
we got several. Never. Funny thing is, we have several cats that are from Palmdale that's in the league that they just don't rep the city.
Yeah, 100%.
Shout out to the guy that actually claimed it. So fuck everybody that got stupid things to say. Paul's one of the best players in the world. KD one of the best players in the world. Shit, he might be the best player in the world. Actually,
yeah,
I'm ready to say that.
Fucking nuts.
I felt like I felt that way a few years ago. Like
you have for a while, Loki. You've seen the writings on the wall.
Prior to the injury, I felt like he solidified it. Like, I know the Warriors situation kind of spun it because that team was really, really good. But, like, when they played against each other, it was like, mano y mano, I got something for you, and you don't really got much for me. Like, but I do think the Warriors team was a lot better than the Cavs. But yeah. KD, in my opinion, if I had my vote, I'm maybe to him.
Yeah, man, I love it. Shout out Clippers. Fuck yeah, dudes. I'm stoked. I was emotional, and now I'm 5-0 wearing the blue PG jersey. So I haven't worn it yet in the Suns series. I'm saving it for a big moment. I don't want to waste the magic on a game we might lose. You know, I got to feel good about the game and then put the jersey on, see if the magic works.
Yeah, I got to split one of these
but
games.
I do have that.
You got to win one without.
It's a big game tomorrow.
If he don't play, y'all need to still win them games. Because if you go 100%. Down 2-0 and he plays in LA game 3, that's not a good feeling. Like, shit, we down. Yeah. We haven't beat you without one of your best
going
players.
Going down 2-0 just cannot become regular. It can't become regular. You know what I mean?
Hey, y'all do that.
Just can't.
If you go down 2-0 every series and end up winning the title, it's the most lit team I've ever seen. Like, dude, that would be so Clippers. But like, shit, y'all are crazy. I can't express it. I say it every episode, man. Like, I know y'all win more than my Lions, but I swear to God, y'all remind me of that team, dude. Like, nothing ever comes easy. Like, even when you win, you got gray hair after the win. Like, shit, dog.
Oh my God.
I gotta go to the doctor after this. Like I was telling y'all watching this game, like, I don't know how y'all do this shit. Like, this is tough. Like,
every year
is
man,
intense.
It is. I'm telling you, it's mental torture. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. I would never tell someone to be a Clipper fan. Never in a million years. And it's like, I tell people all the time to be Bears fans. Like, oh yeah, no, like the Bears. We're fun. We're a fun franchise. Lots of history. Like, it's dope. Blah, blah. Love the Dodgers. Lots of history. Great franchise. Like, go, no, be a Dodger fan. Like, I would never tell someone that about the Clippers. I'd be like, pick someone else. Please pick the Lakers, pick the Celtics, pick whoever. Like, man.
My boys can't win a game right now. We are
Speaking of Padres, I'm ready to switch to baseball. I've been trying to segue, but we just keep getting drawn back to my love of this breaking over the hump. But we'll save the more Clipper talk for next week.
Ass right now.
On to baseball, and literally the baseball. I feel like we have had a poll, not like necessarily on this exact podcast in episodes, but we, as in me, you, and Jacob, who talk every day, have had a pulse on this spin rate thing for a long time. Since Trevor Bauer brought it up years ago, we have had an eyebrow raised. And I remember you specifically, I feel like, brought it to our attention. And we're like, dude, people are talking about this. And you were like, guys, don't just get this good overnight. Like, Garrett Cole at the end of his Pirates career was very near average. And then Charlie Morton was definitely not this.
It was the Astros. Like, shit got weird when everybody started going to the Astros and everybody got a lead. Verlander,
Cole, and Morton are all of a sudden like, by the way, I run it up there at mid-90s and it's zip.
And then like their spin rate.
Zip.
The Astros went from like being one of the like top 20 teams in the spin rate, being like 17, 16 to leading the league in spin rate. It was like, whoa. Yeah. Overnight, like, the shit got weird.
And it's like, so Alex Rodriguez on the broadcast of the ESPN game last night, Cardinals and Braves, they talked about it because to put it in context, today is the official day where
you can check.
Not you, no, they will. They're gonna check every pitcher.
They're gonna check every cup.
every pitcher starting today, when he comes off the mound after throwing his inning of work, they're gonna quickly, somewhere between home plate in their dugout, they're gonna walk over, check their stuff real quick, check their glove, make sure their hat's cool, boom, 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 send them into the dugout. Position players aren't getting checked.
That feels excessive.
But
you got to at this point.
So they had Bill Miller, the MLB umpire, on the broadcast after he did the Diamondback Dodger game and kind of like trying to walk us through and explain it. And it seems like it's going to be a quick boom, boom, we're okay, boom. This is the problem with, because they're checking for sticky stuff. But what is sticky stuff? Because I'm starting to understand it from both sides. Like Garrett Cole said, like, I don't know how to answer that question. There's things that legit veterans that are respected in the game have taught me that passed down from me years ago that I'm using now. And then Glass now gets injured, hurts his UCL, and he says it's because he's not allowed to use what he normally uses, which is just
makes 1,000%
sunscreen and rosin. Trevor Bauer said, like, sunscreen and rosin, like, it just
not even just that, like,
he showed it.
I'm used to throwing a ball, like, yeah, he did show that, but like, to the Glass now point, like, I'm used to throwing a ball like this. I throw the ball ridiculously fucking hard anyway.
Yeah, he's like, I don't need anything for extra spin.
If I have to grip the ball a different way, I'm going to blow my fucking arm out
because I'm using different.
Sports is a game of inches
at a high level.
Game of inches at a high level. If I throw something the wrong way, the amount of whip I'm throwing, I'm gonna hurt myself. And now that's what happens.
Spin rate is not velocity, by the way. Like, that's one distinction that has to be different. It's like spin rate is how fast the ball is spinning, and it makes it do wicked shit if it's excessively high. So if you like, I'm not against sunscreen and rosin because you need to have a grip on the ball. It's a safety issue. Like, literally, if the ball
nobody wants skin cancer.
Yeah,
like, if this guy should better wear sunscreen. Like, what are we doing?
100%. If the ball is slipping from a guy, he doesn't have a good grip on it. Like,
even I don't ever wear sunscreen.
Like, the batter is at risk here. Like, and I think hitters themselves don't want
especially
a, dry,
how
like
high
a guy
guys
out there
throw.
just dry. Yeah,
I need you to better.
I have to be able to pitch. I have to be able to pitch inside as a pitcher, and as a hitter, I understand.
And please better.
And I need to feel safe with you. I need to feel safe with you being able to go in there because I can't.
Dude, Hunter Green
take that away from you.
104.
That's not fair, right? And so
imagine that getting loose. Like, what the hell?
What Alex Rodriguez did show was the spider tack. Like, they literally opened up a can. It looks like it comes in like a can of that will look like Copenhagen almost, like just like a small tin can, and it's this gooey baby
that shit is
looking
sticky as hell.
Dog, like ridiculous sticky. And he's showing it on the ball, and he's like, pitchers, it's all about the seams. And he's like putting the ball up to the camera just like this. He said, imagine with the spider tack, you're so locked onto it. Imagine having the ball on a lever, and you pull the lever and it just creates this extra spin like that. And when he said it like that, like visually, that makes a ton of sense. He's like, you're essentially just yanking a lever on this ball and giving it this extra 1,000 RPMs. And it literally makes a fastball look like it's rising, makes a slider dance like you've never seen before. Like, you're throwing wiffle ball shit, being able to do it like that. And
that's
and he's like, when he said that, like, imagine putting a lever on the ball and yanking it to just really spin it out of there. And I was like, yeah, like, so that's
they gotta have a good understanding of how much to use though, because like you think if you put too much, like that shit would literally stick to you.
Yeah, it's because it's like a mix. Like, you use the spider tack and then you mix it with like rosin and sunscreen or rosin, whatever. So it's like
it's
sticky,
a different color,
sticky
right?
But slick. Yeah, it's like yellow. It's like a yellowy.
That's why you got to mix it with stuff so you can't see it, huh?
Yeah, and
they probably don't even need that much of it either.
Oh no, you just use a little and then probably like pine tar and some water or whatever, and then you mix it in on a hat, and it's like, and it's something you can just constantly bring out, constantly put it in on the inside of your glove, constantly get out. You know what I'm saying?
Because I forgot what retired pitcher show thought he did a video. He showed the rosin sunscreen shit, and he was throwing it, and then he showed when he put spider tack on, same video, his ball was dancing, and it's like, dancing,
damn, bro.
And he was like, this has been going on for a while. I forgot what retired MLB pitcher this was, but he was like, this is going on for a while, and it sucks. He's like, in anything in life, you give somebody an inch, they're gonna take a mile. Like, we've been doing certain things for years, but people took it to the next level, and now we're truly cheating. Like,
there's so many
said,
angles on it now that you realize it.
Yeah, like Garrett Cole said, like, I probably learned the sunscreen rosin shit, but now we're getting to the point where we're using advanced technology to do shit. And it might be the Astros. Like, Lance Lynn showed it too. Like, if you look at Lance Lynn's spin rate since they're checking gloves over, because Lance Lynn
got lit up his last two starts.
Mm-hmm. And he was a guy that was flaming out of the MLB, and then out of nowhere, fucking his back just snapping in the lead again. It's like, we thought you was done, my man. Like, you blew your arm out. Because didn't he get Tommy John's? I want to say he was a Tommy John's guy. Got Tommy John's and came back, struggled a few years, and the next thing we know, you're back to this elite guy throwing harder, and like your spin rate's out of this world now. So it's like, what have you been on? Another guy that might be on it too is Giolito, because Giolito's struggling his ass off this year.
I think Trevor Bauer made a good point too. He's as far as like the fashion that the MLB just started policing this. He's like,
it's lame though.
You can't know something has been going on for so long. Allow us to do it, and it's like not even with the spider tech shit, just like in general. And then to just have this like, I don't think the MLB themselves fully even understands what they're policing, because it's like they just put over this broad brush umbrella of like, okay, nothing's allowed. You go out there naked and you go pitch the ball, and the umpire will rub it, and you can rub it with your hands, and then you pitch the ball. And Bauer's like, that's not what this is. Like, that's not how it's been. You can't just overnight, boom, it's different now. Like, you still have to allow someone to have something for grip. You've always allowed us to make grip for the baseball. You still have to allow us to have some grip for the baseball.
Yeah,
you just have to.
It's just a safety thing.
Yeah, and I think the players themselves, batters and pitchers, need to come together and like figure out what's the fair substance, what's the fair stuff I can use.
But
that
you give an inch,
that
guys gonna take a mile.
It's hard. It's going to be hard, but I think like that's really the only logical way to me, is to like get the players themselves. Like, what's going to make the batters feel safe?
Why guys cheat so much in baseball? Why is that such a thing in baseball?
Because it's hard. Because it's so hard. I think
shit. Golf is hard as hell. You don't be saying guys cheat.
It's hard. I feel like it's hard to.
Nobody looks. He kicks the ball down the fairway. Yeah. Like, you don't see that.
I feel like it's hard to cheat in golf when all the cameras are on you, but it's so easy to take advantage in baseball so sneakily, because there's just lots of stuff going on. And so
if you gonna cheat, just look down.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Because I feel like yes, that's cheating, but shit, that's least. I feel like that's less cheating than anything. Like, looking down is cheating. Yes. No. Let me tell you why this is. Because it's still baseball. Like, I'm still just standing here. I'm just standing here playing the game. Like, I look down, big fucking deal. You over here are going in your locker, whipping out a can, scooping it, putting it on your hat, and doing some shit. That's actually modifying the game of baseball.
Yeah, I feel you.
Down is integrity.
Yeah, you're a mark.
Actually,
yeah. Like, you're a bitch actually if you look down.
Yeah, like, I get that. Like, that's a whole different. That's a whole different topic, but that's like not technically cheating.
Yeah,
like,
we're not endorsing looking down, but I 100%.
Yeah, no, like I'm not endorsing that, but like if you look down,
no, I get what you're saying.
You're a mark, but like at the same time, you didn't cheat. The guy who's over here corking his bat, putting shit on his hat, and all that, those are actual cheaters, because you're changing the game.
100%. You're physically cheating the game right there.
Yeah. Me looking down is like, I'm a bitch. I'm gonna hit this now, though. Like, so what? Yeah. And you still gotta hit it. Even if you look down, you still gotta hit the damn ball.
Nah, but knowing what's coming, and
you're a pro, I get it.
I'll fight you. I'll fight you if you're looking and knowing what's coming. I'll fight you.
I get it.
But I agree. The physical cheating of the game is the next level. Just nonsense. So what's interesting now is there's always been this. I learned this in the game last night. Brian Snitker and Mike Schilt, the manager of the Braves, manager of the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. They both kind of have come out, and there's always been this like unwritten
dope. The Cardinals
rule.
manager is dope. He's dope.
I like both of them honestly a lot. I really like Mike Schilt, the Cardinals manager. I really like that guy.
He backs his players up.
So there has always been kind of like this unwritten rule and agreement among managers of like, I'm not really going to call your pitcher out if I think he's using something, because I probably got a pitcher in the pen that's using something. So it's like, I'm not going to throw stones at a glass house type thing. Like I could come back to hurt me. And they both said that they are no longer abiding by that. Like they're assuming their guys don't have anything illegal. So if they see something now, they're like, we're not going to be afraid to tell the umpire that I think you're using something, because I feel safe that my guys aren't. I think that's an interesting dynamic that's going to come out now.
That's
like,
smart, because if my guys aren't, who's
the first manager to really do it? Because Mike Schilt said, I think with all this checking when they come off the mound, I don't think I'll have to be that guy. I think that's the purpose of this new system, is I'm not going to have to be that guy. So hopefully I don't have to. And I'm curious to see like who's the first manager that sees something and is that guy. Also, they said position players will only be checked if it comes to their attention that they feel like something's there. Catchers are going to be looked at very heavily, because there's been known to like put stuff on a catcher's shin guards, put it on his chest protector, put it in a catcher's glove, because he has the second most contact to a pitcher with the ball on a regular basis.
Like, he could be the same one that puts it on there.
So besides those two positions, everyone else is kind of safe unless it comes to their attention or unless they see something, something like that. It's an interesting day in baseball. Man.
First baseman got it on his arm.
It's an interesting day in baseball.
High five.
Dude. Third baseman's got it in
Y'all
his hat.
cheating that crazy?
Bro, you don't never know. You know when you get a strikeout or an out and they toss it around the infield because baseball's dope like that. Like fucking middle infielder's got it on the inside of his glove or something, on his belt. Like you don't know. Guys are really crazy. Cheating, bro. Like I don't put nothing past anyone these days in baseball. It's
shit with the whole Astros whole team being down, like
with the fucking video, like Jesus,
and then
video camera,
bro, that whole
trash cans.
Team cheated because they are in the whole heart of the spin
It was like the
shit.
dynamic of
that
their
whole
philosophy.
team was like, how can we get past everybody? Like, we gonna cheat with our bats, we gonna cheat with our arms, we gonna cheat with our damn gloves. They probably had some sticky shit in their gloves. Like these dudes are just tripping out there. The Astros really are one of the teams that put a black mark on baseball. Like, damn.
Oh, really absolutely. Fucking garbage. One more cool, awesome, probably the coolest, since we talked about all the bad shit. Probably the coolest shit to come out of baseball in the past 10 days is Shohei Ohtani committing to the home run derby. You're going to have Tatis, you're going to have Shohei, and Vlad Guerrero. I believe all three have committed to the home run derby. Right? In Colorado, the home run paradise.
He better be in it. He got to be the home.
I would assume Story or Blackman, but probably Story will represent the home squad.
Oh, they could put Ryan McMahon. He crushes balls.
Yeah, he's hot right now too. He's having a great season.
Actually, it might be McMahon probably.
So, but I want it to be Story because of this star. I mean, this is going to be one of the greatest star-studded home run derby
Story may not even be on that
ever
team much
seen.
longer.
I mean, I think he might end up in St. Louis. That is such a perfect fit for him. They need a right-handed
power
bat.
Y'all gonna give him Arenado and Story?
That's
just highway robbery.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to end up somewhere. I also think he might end up in Chicago. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes there. They kind of need a big bat in the middle of that lineup. Where the hell they gonna put him at though? Weird. Javi played second coming up. Like you can move Javi to second. Okay. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Story goes short. Or I could see him in the American League. I could see him in the American League somewhere like Oakland.
I feel like
Jed Lowry can play both.
That takes him away from it. I rather move Story to second.
Absolutely.
Javi's like he's a crazy glove, and I feel like his tagging won't be utilized the same if you put him at second. Like, that dude is the best tagger I've ever seen. Like that dude can tag you, which is a crazy fucking skill, but he's a great tagger.
So that was the coolest. That was the good. Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani is amazing, dude. And I told you guys from the start of the season, that's the best player in baseball, and he is. I don't care what anyone tells me.
Absolutely.
Look at him on the mound. Look at him with his bat, bro. What are you on? You're a video game player. Like
we always gotta mention Shohei when we talk baseball here.
Yeah, that dude. I gotta go get an Ohtani jersey. It just sucks. The Angels. I don't like that team. And their jerseys are ugly, but
they're hot though. The Angels are back winning games again. This goddamn team.
Come from? What's his old team? That would be a.
I don't know what team he came from in the Japanese.
That jersey's probably hot. I need that Japanese
for sure.
Jersey.
I always when you watch the Angels broadcast, there's always a couple of them in the stands. People are definitely on it. I like those guys.
I need that. That one out. Hot. I wonder what color it is.
Definitely is tight. I believe it's like a kind of like a black and white pinstripe thing, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong.
I'm about to find it.
But yeah, so that's
Vladdy's great too, though. He's so good at baseball too. Yeah. That is a great lineup,
man.
I just hope he don't mess his swing up, but I don't think that shit messes up guys' swings.
We get Dodgers Padres after a couple months. That series starts.
Do you think that messes guys' swings up though? Before we get off that, do you think the derby messes
the home run derby?
Up?
I think it's a case by case basis.
It's a mindset. It's more of a mental thing.
Yeah. I think it's a case by case basis. I think there's some guys that allow it to affect their swing, affect their approach. They kind of get out of mechanic a little bit. But I think there's also guys that are talented enough to really lock in and not let it affect them. I think there's some guys that understand the show of it and can go out there and put on a show and then come back and lock in and get back into their rhythm.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, it's like just batting practice. Why are you really tripping on it?
Yeah, and so I think there are other guys though that do let it affect their mechanics and they kind of does take them out of a rhythm. Yeah, it kind of does take it out of what they're good at.
Josh Hamilton.
So it's a case. I think it's a risk any of them take doing it, and it's a case by case basis. I don't even know how to look at a player and be like, oh, he's the type of guy that'll come out in a slump. I couldn't even like project it, but I do think that there is something to it, and some guys it definitely does affect.
Okay, before we go, I'm about to cry on camera. McVay, Stafford's a bad motherfucker. Rams head coach hyped up on new quarterback. He's even better than advertised. It's great being around him.
Oh man, Andy Dalton about to get shredded on opening night.
I'm kind of rooting against McVay. I don't like McVay anymore. I'm
a McVay guy. I think I like him a lot.
Nah, he was on his Doc Rivers shit, kind of like, I'm not losing. It's not because of me. It's because he can't make throws. It's like, okay.
I mean, he might be right. He might be right.
But Goff can make throws. Like, I don't understand that. It wasn't like Goff was just fucking up. Like, if Todd Gurley was healthy, they'd win that damn Super Bowl. Like, he was just a shell of himself. Like,
I don't know if they win that damn Super Bowl, but yeah, they have a better shot.
They were close. They had a good chance. They didn't get blown out.
No, I mean, Patriots
they
kind of, yeah, I'm like, kind of Patriots kind of
out.
like dominated that game. They were in control, but you're
right.
right.
It wasn't
the Rams were pretty one-dimensional.
What was the score?
24-3? 24-3?
Something like that.
I think they got a field goal. I think Greg the Leg at the time came in,
but Stafford is a fantastic player. So like, I'm hoping my homie go over there and ball out.
I don't think they're the deepest team, the Rams, but I think if healthy, they're as good as any team to get to the Super Bowl in that conference. Absolutely.
I hope he gets his roses. I just want him to get his roses, but I don't like McVay. Like, that's lame to me. Like, he really threw golf under the bus and was like, it's not me, it's him. Like, this guy's, he can't run my offense the way I want. It's like, well, coach fucking better than. Like, okay, he guys on your team.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see though if he's right. I mean, if it comes out and works,
and I'm sick of hearing about Justin Fields. God damn it! This dude's the greatest thing to ever fucking touch football, huh? Every quote that comes out of your organization is like, "This is this." Like, don't get me wrong, I like him because I watched the Netflix series, and I'm mad he's on your team because I love that dude when he was on QB1 on the Netflix series, and when he went to y'all, I fucking had a silent cry because I was sad.
We don't know how to act. We never
y'all
had
really
a good
don't know how
quarterback.
to act, bro. Y'all are gassing this man.
We don't know how to act.
Is Pat Mahomes. Like, he better be good because
we're sure hoping he is.
Gassing him.
We're sure hoping he is. Like,
man, y'all gassing. Y'all didn't talk like about Mitch is like, y'all didn't talk about me like this when I got drafted.
No, we did low key, and then Mitch was but
week
right
one in, y'all saw ball selling. It was like,
yeah, we'll
did we make the right choice?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited about Fields. I agree though. It's a ton of propaganda for him, man. We don't know how to act. We're so excited.
Who was the
about
receiver
him.
that said I was mid route and I was smiling as the ball was coming at me? Like, shut your bitch ass. That was it was Mooney. Mooney was like
Darnell's dumbass. That's
he was like, I was in mid cut and the ball was coming in and I was just smiling. Like, man, you sound stupid.
Mitch still got good. Bears notifications crying. Mitch is like,
oh, yeah, he's sick. That was for sure.
Never loved me.
The Arthur meme, he was for sure mad when he heard that. Like, you was never smiling on my routes because that shit was 8 feet over my head. Cause what Antonio Brown said about Ben Roethlisberger, because you threw it to the fucking D lineman.
Yeah,
when he was on the shot, that shit was funny. What I was supposed to do? You threw it to the D lineman.
Yeah,
that team's crazy too. I can't wait for them to. I think the Bucs might repeat too. I can see them repeat.
Oh, absolutely. They have a good chance as anybody. They literally brought back the entire team. So
exactly, like I don't see why they can't repeat. And Tom is on roids.
If Tom is still good,
we got to figure out what's in the TB12 because bro's getting younger, throwing balls to the moon. He just destroyed the moon. Did you see his TikTok? Oh my god,
he gets it.
We don't have a moon.
He's so great. Like, he's so funny. He just gets
when's
it.
That,
like, it's so good.
When's the match? When is that? When is this golf match?
I think it's coming up because the U.S. Open just ended. I think it's in like 2 or 3 weeks, if I had to guess. But that shit's awesome.
And we need Jacob here for a little golf piece.
Yeah, Jacob unfortunately didn't tap in today, but that's okay. We missed him.
It's all good.
Any only thing that I've been watching that I would say is I don't really support any other podcasts. You should only listen to us and only us. But if you do venture someone else, go watch the Phil Handy on All the Smoke. If you like basketball, that is just a basketball dude, a real dude that gets it. And I mean, if you like basketball, after you get done listening to us, listen to all of us.
You got to be to go D1 and not play high school basketball.
You know what I'm saying? Go listen to Phil Handy, Lakers assistant, talk about basketball with those dudes because it is one of the best just basketball interviews I've ever watched.
Shout out to Skyline College. I hooped there, and he went there.
I thought about you when he said it. I was like, man, yeah.
I was like, I didn't know. I remember looking through our little like trophy case, and I didn't realize that was who that was. That's crazy.
Yeah,
his name is definitely in there. That's dope. So
yeah.
Shout out to Skyline. You know, I hate that.
Anything you want to put the people on? Tap into any last words before I chop your head off?
I haven't really been on that. I was out went back to Fondo see my folks for Father's Day, so that was cool.
Nice. Yeah, I seen you went golfing at a sick ass course. How'd you shoot? Decent at all?
I did not shoot well, but this course was Valencia Vista, I want to say. So it was in the sticks in the mountains, which was pretty crazy. It was hot as hell out there. We went early in the morning, but it was still pretty hot. By the time we got to like the back nine, we went at like 9 o'clock, but by the time we got to the back
so
nine,
the back nine, it was like noon. You were fucking dying.
It was like 11. It was like, man, damn. But if we would have went like at 9:30 or something, we would have died because right when we got to 18, it got really hot. It was like, well, shit, good thing we done.
Get the fuck out of here.
But that course was crazy though because like it was only like 4 or 5 par 4s on the course. They were all pretty long though, so you had the option of either playing it as a par 4 or 5. But they had a ton of par 3s, but they were crazy though. Like they were either 77 yards, 80 yards, 150,
Oh wow, like just
or
drop
200. Yeah, like but you're dropping it off platforms like this
I was about to
17th
say,
hole.
high
You're
platform.
hitting it off this high ass hill, dropping it onto an island. Like it's surrounded by water. You got to drop it on the island. Bro, I lost like 4 balls on that hole. That shit was.
I'd give it 3
stupid.
tries before I just walk over there and start putting.
And I was like, I'm gonna drop this one here. Like I got enough of these balls to lose. So it was fun though. And we was playing with these 2 other dudes, these two other guys that was with us, and they weren't much better, so that was cool. So it wasn't like we was getting pushed.
That's always nice.
Yeah, we got matched up with decent comp. But I had some good shots, but I struggled with my irons because par 3, it was nothing but par 3s out there, and they were wicked. Like some par 3s,
not like when we
went like 200 yards too. Like
not like when we got matched up with Clark there out here in Long Beach. And that dude was with us.
My man Clark with the PGA Tour. I saw Clark yesterday.
I hope he crushed it at the tournament. I hope he crushed it at the tournament.
I saw
the
Clark
next day.
at the U.S. Open. Right, we saw him a couple of days ago. He was at U.S. Open.
Yeah,
Clark was modest. He told us I had a tournament here yesterday. Really, he was talking about the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
He was like, I got a tournament coming up. He was like, and we thought it was at the place we was at. It wasn't at Wrigley. He was going to literally go play on the tour. Clark had game. But that's all I have for everybody.
Same.
As always, it's the other team. Lions forever. Mamba forever. The playoffs have been great. Shout out to Adam. I got to call him back right after this call. It's the other team.
Talk to him about the Clippers, bro.
I don't know, man. He ran some numbers by me that don't sound too good for y'all, but we'll see. I'll try to talk him out of it. But it's the other team. We out of here. Mamba forever.